Are you looking to build an online store to start selling products and make money online as fast as possible? Maybe you're learning to become a freelance web designer and you want to add e-commerce store to the list of services that you provide. Whatever the case may be, I'm going to show you how to create an online store with WooCommerce step by step. This website looks stunning with its sleek and professional design. It includes a homepage complete with a hero section, an inventory section to display the products sold, an attractive call to action, a latest product section, and in addition, I'm going to show you the types of products that you can create and how to add those different types of products to your store and fully customize each and every one of them. By the end of this tutorial, you're going to have a fully functioning store that you can use to immediately start making sales. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on Create a Pro website. My name is Levi Hagan and I'll be walking you through this entire tutorial step by step. Now, this video is aimed at the absolute beginner of web design. You don't need to have any previous experience or knowledge of coding. We're going to be building the entire website using a super easy to use drag and drop page builder that allows you to easily customize your entire website and make it look like your own. Let me do a quick overview of everything I'm going to cover in this video. I'm going to show you how to get your very own custom domain name and web hosting for your website. I'll show you how to install Wordpress, which is a free software we're going to be using to launch your website. I'll show you how to download and customize a pre-built store using Elementor, which is that easy to use drag and drop page builder I mentioned earlier. I'll even show you how to create your very own logo for free without having to download any software. I'll then show you how to install and activate WooCommerce so you can insert and sell your products like a pro. I'll show you how to create 6 different types of products. A simple product, which is a product that can be bought as is. A variable product, which is a product that has different variations such as size and color. A digital or virtual product, which is something like a webinar or a Zoom session. A digital or downloadable product, which is a product that can be bought and downloaded immediately. An affiliate product, which is promoting other people's products and making a commission from the sale. And lastly, a group product, which will bundle a few of the products that you already have on your store. After that, I'll show you how to set prices and sales, tracking inventory, creating categories and tags, uploading product images, and much more. I'll show you how to edit your header menu. I'll go over shipping methods and shipping charges. I'll go over coupon codes like 20% off or free shipping. And then I'll show you how to set up your payment methods for credit cards and PayPal. Lastly, I'll show you how to manage your orders to keep your customers up to date on things like confirmations and shipping times. During this tutorial, you can use the right and left arrow keys to go forward or backward by 5 seconds. I also put timestamps of this video down in the description so you can go ahead or go back at any time. Alright, now that we have an understanding of what we're going to be covering, let's go ahead and get started with step number 1. So step number 1 is to get a domain name and hosting. A domain name is just the address to your website. It's what people are going to enter into the search bar to find your site. So something like yourwebsite.com. And web hosting is just renting space on a server somewhere that's connected to the internet so that you can store all of your media and files on your website. There are web hosting companies that have buildings full of these servers, and they also offer you 24/7 support in case anything happens to your website. If you want to own your own website and have a custom domain name for it, then you have to purchase your own web hosting, which I'm going to show you how to do in this tutorial, and I'm going to give you a massive discount for it. Yes, you can get a free website, but it comes with a lot of limitations. Like, you won't own your domain name. It'll be something like yourwebsite.wix.com or squarespace.com or whoever's hosting the website. It could even be a random string of numbers and letters that you don't even get to choose. You also can't upload new themes in order to customize your website exactly the way you want. You can't increase the functionality of your website by downloading plugins. You also can't monetize your website with ads in order to make money from it. And your website could be deleted at any time because you don't technically own it. So for these reasons, I personally recommend web hosting because it puts you in control. So, in order to get your own hosting and domain name, just click on the very first link in the description, or you can go to createaprowebsite.com/hosting, and it'll take you to a page that looks like this. Now, by clicking on my affiliate link, which I receive a commission from, you'll receive the massive discount on your web hosting plan, which also saves you a lot of money. So, I strongly recommend it. So once you're here, you're going to see a special co-branded landing page that we have with HostGator.com. So all you have to do is click on buy now, and it's going to show you all 3 options that we have down below. So we've got the hatchling plan, the baby plan, and the business plan. So the hatchling plan is the one that I usually use. You get a single website with free SSL, which is a big deal. So it's included with your hosting. And of course, we got the 61% off. And then you also have the baby plan and the business plan. Now, I only recommend these when you plan on hosting multiple sites or when the website that you already have starts making a lot of money, just because it gives you unlimited sites and a whole bunch of extra stuff. And so if this is your first time building a website and you just want to dip your toe in, let's go ahead and start with the hatchling plan then. So I'm going to choose buy now right here. Now, this is where you get to choose your very own custom domain name. If you already have a domain name, you can just click on this tab right here. But for this video, I'm going to create my own. And so I can search one, GT Power Sports. And when I click out of it, as you can see, the .com is not available, but I can do something like .club, site, or online, or space, or anything like that. So I'm going to try something else. Perfect. So when my search bar highlights green, I know that the one that I'm choosing, which is a .com right here, is available. And then you can see .com is available, free for 1 year, and then you start paying for your domain name. Now, you can choose like a club or .site or .net, but I personally recommend a .com. It's just the most professional looking, and it's also the most common that people search for when they're looking for a website. So, GT Power Sports, CAPW, that's just for Create a Pro website. So I'm going to scroll on down. Now, this is really important right here, the domain privacy protection. What this does is just protects your personal information from online solicitors and telemarketers who are going to try and market different services for your website. It gets kind of frustrating having to deal with all of that, so I always leave this domain privacy protection enabled. And so if you don't want it, you can just uncheck the box, but I'm going to make sure that mine is actually checked because I want the protection. Okay, so number 2 is choose a hosting plan. And so again, it lets you choose between the hatchling, the baby, and the business plan, but I'm going to stick to the hatchling plan. And then over here, it lets you pick the billing cycle. And so you can see that I can choose the 36 months. And of course, the longer the contract, the bigger the discount. So this is like $271 per month, and this is $7 a month if I go for 1 month. Now, keep in mind, you're doing your domain name for 1 year right here. And so if you want, you could make your hosting plan and your domain registration both for 1 year if you wanted to. So you could do the 12. But for this example, I'm just going to do 1 month. Now, another thing to keep in mind is you're paying for the billing cycle up front. So I'm paying for 1 month up front or 36 months up front. So if I were to click the 36 months and go all the way down to the bottom, you'll see it goes all the way up to 170. And then if I go down to 1 month, it'll drop it significantly. So just keep in mind you are paying for it the entire year up front. Okay, so create your HostGator account. This is pretty simple. You're just going to create a basic account with HostGator, the company. And so it's just email address and a password. So I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, so now I've moved on to number 4 after creating my HostGator account. And so we've got 2 boxes here. We've got the Site Lock Essentials and then Site Backups. Now, I've got videos on the channel that show you how to do both of these for free. So instead of the $1.99 a month and the $2 a month, which is actually billed annually, so it's a lump sum of $23 and $23, I'm going to go ahead and uncheck both of these, which will also save us money. Now, I'll leave links in the description to those videos as well. So you can go to the Site Lock Essentials and the Site Backups, and I'll show you how to do those. So we'll scroll on down here. So number 5 is to enter a coupon code. Now, if you went to createaprowebsite.com/hosting up in the top in the search bar, then this will already be here, but just make sure that Create a Pro Website is here because this is going to be giving you that massive discount that I was talking about in the beginning. Now, this is my affiliate link, so I receive a commission when you use this coupon code, but it's also giving you the discount, so it's kind of a win-win for both of us here. And then number 6 is to review your order details. And so you can see that the domain registration for 1 year went from $17.99 all the way down to $4.99. And then we've got the hatchling plan for 1 month, which we're paying for upfront, went from $10 all the way down to $7. And then the hosting add-ons, which is the domain privacy protection billed annually, is the $14.95. And so you guys see that with all the tax and stuff like that, it comes out to $29.10. So that's not too bad. So I'm just going to go ahead and agree to the terms of service, cancellation, and privacy, and click Checkout Now. All right. Now HostGator is setting up your account, so it's only going to take a few minutes. All right. And now HostGator has finished creating our account. I'm just going to click on View Dashboard. All right. So now we're in our HostGator dashboard. We can go ahead and move on to step number 2, which is to install WordPress. Now, one thing I like about HostGator is they make it really simple. You just find the domain name that you want to use, which is the one that we just created, GT Power Sports CAPW, and you just go right over to Control Panel and then click on Install WordPress right here. And then I'm going to click Install Now. Perfect. So for the software setup, it's pretty simple. We're just going to make sure that we're downloading WordPress to the correct domain name, the one that we just created, which we are. And if you have multiple, you just click on this drop down and then you can choose between them all, but it's going to be this one right here. And then over here on this side, we have the choose your version of install. And so we can choose between an older version or the most up-to-date, which just make sure you have the up-to-date version here. Scrolling on down, next we have site settings. So we've got the site name and the site description. Now, if I were to go up here and show HostGator.com, this would be an example of the actual site. Oh, here, let's do HostGator. So this would be the site title, and then this is the site description down below. So that's what we're doing right now. And so under site settings, I can change this to GT Powersports. And then for site description, I could do some kind of a short description. Perfect, because for this website, I'm going to be making a website where you sell motorcycles just for fun. Okay, so now over here on this side, we've got the admin account. So this is a really important step. You want to make sure that you remember this, write it down somewhere. This is going to be the username and password that you use to edit your website every single time. So this is really important. So the username, you can make whatever you want. For me, I'm just going to make it Levi, just my name. And then for the admin password, I'm going to go ahead and create my own. And then the admin email I can also change. And so this is where all of the emails for this account are going to go. Perfect. So now that I've got my admin account set up, I can scroll on down a little bit more and we can choose the language right here, which I speak English, so I'm going to use that one. And then the rest is going to be more advanced setup. So we've got selecting plugins to already have installed before we even get in there, but I want to show you guys that in a separate step. So skip this one, skip the advanced options and the theme selection, because I'm going to show you guys how to do this all on your own. And we'll just go straight down to install. And now WordPress is installing to your computer, so just give it a few minutes. All right, and right here you see, congratulations, the software, which is WordPress, was installed successfully, so we're good to go. This is another important step right here. The administrative URL is something that you're going to want to save. It's pretty easy to remember. It's just the new domain name that you got, so gtpowersports.com/WP for WordPress -admin, because you're the admin. So this is something that you're going to want to remember because you have to go to this URL every time you want to edit your website. So what you can do is just click on it and open it on a new tab and then save it as a bookmark, something like that. Or you can just remember it because that's what I do. So let's go ahead and open it up on a new tab to see what it looks like. Perfect. So if you come to a page that looks like this, or a page that says that your connection isn't private, or that this page doesn't exist, or anything other than a page that looks like this, then what that means is your site just needs to propagate first. Now, propagation is basically HostGator taking the new domain name that you just registered and sending it to every server in the world to let everyone know that it's now live and registered. Now, this process can take only a few minutes or a few hours, and then sometimes it can even take up to a day. So just keep coming back to your browser and clicking on the refresh button until you see this page, because that's when you know you're ready to log in. So I'm just going to put in my admin login and password, which I used Levi and my password. All right, and we've made it to the WordPress dashboard, so we're ready to start creating our website. Now that we're here, we can go ahead and move on to step number 3, which is to activate a new theme. Now, in order to activate a theme, we're going to go down to the Appearance tab over here on the left-hand side and click on Themes, but I'm going to open it up on a new tab. And while we're opening things up on a new tab, we actually don't need these two anymore, so I'll just close out of them. But I always like having a dashboard to be able to go back to. Okay, so from here, you can go ahead and add your new theme or check out different themes that they already have loaded on your WordPress just by default. You can see that the active theme that we're using is the 2021 just default WordPress theme. And so let me actually show you guys what that looks like. If you want to preview your website, you just go up here to the website name and click on it, or click on Visit Site. I'm just going to open it up on a new tab. And so it's pretty plain. We've just got a green background with some black text. So let me go ahead and show you guys what happens when we download a new theme. So I'm going to click Add New Theme. And then in the search bar, look for something called Astra, which, as you can tell, I search it a lot. So there's Astra right there. And then click on Install for Astra right here. And activate. Perfect. So now we can see that the active theme is Astra, not the 2021, which is over here now. So let me show you guys what it looks like. We'll go up to the top and open up our site on a new tab. And you can see it looks completely different. So now we've got like this boxed content, we've got side menus, blues and blacks, and so it looks a lot better, but it's definitely far from being done. So let's close out of this tab. All right, so now that we have our theme installed, we can go ahead and move on to step number 4, which is to install plugins. So if you want to install plugins, we'll just go over to the left-hand side again and drop down to plugins, and we can look at the installed plugins that we already have, or click on add new. And so I'm going to click add new. And from here, we're going to download only a few different plugins. The first one is going to be Elementor, which is that easy to use drag and drop page builder that I was talking about at the beginning of the video. All right, and you'll see it right here, Elementor website builder. So we'll just click install now and then click on activate. And you'll notice every time we activate a new plugin, it's going to take you somewhere else. So all we have to do another plugin is just go back over here to add new. Then I'm going to go over to the search bar and search something called starter templates. And you can see it right here. It's the top option, starter templates for Elementor, Gutenberg, and Beaver Builder. And then you can also see that it hooks up to Astra, so we're good to go. So I'm going to click on install now and activate. All right, now let's go back. We only have 2 more plugins, so I'm just going to click on the add new plugins again, go over to the search bar and search for something called WooCommerce. I feel like this one's fairly obvious because it's a WooCommerce tutorial, so we're going to click install now and activate. All right, and it's going to ask you to set up your WooCommerce account and store. Now, I'm actually just going to skip this for now, but if you want, it's pretty easy to go through. You just put in your address, it'll ask for your industry, a couple product types, business details, and then if you want a theme, which I usually ignore, but I'm going to do this later. Okay, and then we'll go back to the plugins tab down here and click add new for one last time. So I'm going to go up to the corner and search for something called Stripe, which it's right here. And we're going to use WooCommerce Stripe Payment Gateway. So I'll click on install now and activate. All right, so now we have all the plugins that we need. We can go ahead and move on to step number 5, which is to import a template site. All right, so in order to insert a template, we can go over to the Appearance tab. And if you remember earlier, we just downloaded a plugin called Starter Templates, and now this option pops up within the Appearance tab. So let's go ahead and click on it. And from here, it's going to ask what type of page builder we're using, and of course, we're using Elementor. And now we are able to look through the entire library of page templates within Astra. Well, excuse me, starter templates. And so we have a ton of different options here. I can go ahead and click on one just like this, and I can scroll through the entire page, which is pretty cool. And then, so this is the home page. I can also click on the About page and scroll through it. I can even open up the preview on a new tab and look at it as if I just clicked on this website. So now it's full screen. So that's pretty cool. And then I have the option to import the complete site and get all 3 pages, or just take the About page, or whatever page I have highlighted. So if I click on the Contact page, I can just take the Contact page if I want to. But I'm not going to use this one. Another thing you can do is filter the actual library. So you can click on blogs, business websites, e-commerce websites, and other websites. And then you can also choose between all templates, only the free ones, or only the premium ones. And you can see that some of these have premium on it, so you'll actually have to pay for the Starter Templates premium account, which I'm just going to use the free version. So let's click on the All tab, and we'll choose e-commerce, because we're building a WooCommerce store. And then I'm also going to choose the free option. And so we actually have a pretty good selection of stores that we can use. I'm going to be using this one, the brand store. And so this is what it looks like. So now I'm going to click on Import the Complete Site. That way I get the home page, About page, and Contact page. From here, it's going to ask one last step that you just say what kind of a WordPress user you are. So I'm an expert, but you can put beginner. This is actually irrelevant. You just can't skip it. And then I'm building this website for myself or for a client. You can select client right there, but I'm just going to say for myself. And then under advanced options, you don't have to touch any of this, but when you download this template, you're gonna get all of the customizer settings, which I'll explain what that is later. You're gonna get all the widgets, all the plugins that you need for this, which we already downloaded. But if we hadn't downloaded WooCommerce and we tried to install this template, it would automatically do it for us. So that's pretty cool. And it's also gonna import the content, which is all these pictures. So that's nice. And again, you don't have to click on advanced options. I just wanted to show you guys. And then this part you actually can skip. So I'm just going to click skip. And now it's going to activate and download everything we need. All right, so now we can see that our template was imported successfully. So we're good to go. Now we can click on visit site and take a look at it. So as you can see, we're actually on our website, gtpowersportcapw.com, and it actually has our site title right here, which is pretty funny. But we've downloaded their logo, their entire menu, and the entire website. And then we can go over to the store tab if we want to. And we can check everything out. And then we also got both of the other pages. So we have the about page and the contact page. So that's pretty sweet. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close out of that tab. And I can close out of this tab as well. I'm actually going to refresh my dashboard just so that everything is set correctly. All right, so now that we've downloaded a template site, we can move on to step number 6, which is to create products. So the first product that I'm going to be creating is a simple product. But before we get to that, how you get to creating products is you go over here to the left-hand side. Under the WooCommerce tab, you'll see products right here. So you can go to all products and remove all of the defaults that got downloaded with the template. So what I'm going to do is just click on this little checkbox right here. Rather than clicking on each and every one of them, I can go ahead and click this and it'll check all of them. And for bulk actions, I'm going to say move to trash and apply. Perfect. And you can see that there's now 20 products in the trash can. So let's just go ahead and do it one more time because these are the remaining products. Perfect. And now we're starting from scratch. So all of the downloaded template products are in the trash can. So if you want to, you can go over to the trash can and permanently delete them if you wanted to save some space. And so you can say delete permanently, all of them, apply. Okay, so now that we're starting from a blank slate, we can go over to the add new products if we wanted to create one, or you can click on create products right here. But before I do that, there's one last thing I need to show you to do, and that's to change the currency option. So if we go back to WooCommerce, we can hover over it and go down to Settings. And under the General tab, we can scroll all the way down to the bottom for the currency options. So right now, currency is set to the US dollar, but if you wanted to change it to anything else, you can search your country here. And then you can change the currency position, which for the United States dollar, it's always on the left, so that's fine. Thousand operator, decimal separator, which is the decimal for cents and things like that, and number of decimals. So you can change everything here. I'm going to go ahead and leave it on the United States dollar, but I wanted to show you guys how to change it to a different currency if you needed to. And then you'll just click on Save Changes right here. Perfect. So now I can close out of this tab and go back to my Products tab. If you didn't open it on a new tab, just click on Products right here, and then click on Add New. Okay, so the first product that I'm going to have us build is a simple product. And that's just a product that can be bought as is. There's no variations to it. There's no colors or sizes. It's just buy as is. So what we're going to do is enter in a product name. And so I'm going to enter in something like electric motorcycle. Now we've got the description right here. And so we can enter in whatever kind of a description we want, but I'm just going to enter in some dummy text. There we go. All right, so we've got ourselves a description. Let's make it a little bit longer, something like this. All right. Perfect. Okay, so we've got a description right here. Now we can go ahead, scroll on down, and we've got product data. And so as you can see, we've got the simple products right here, and we can choose from other products like the variable, external affiliate, grouped product, and everything. Now I'm going to go through every single type of product in this video. So don't worry, we're going to get to everything. So the first one is a simple product. So the simple product is just that. It's simple. So all you're going to have is a price, and then if you want a sale price. So I'll set this to something like 10,000. And then let's just say that it's on sale for $8,999, something like that. Okay. So now that we've set the regular price and the sale price, you'll see that the regular price will be displayed and it'll have a slash through it, and then they'll have the sale price right next to it, just saying that it's on sale. If you don't want your product to be on sale, you can just clear out this number and the 10,000 will show. You can also schedule your sale price by clicking right here, and you can choose what dates. So from this day to this day, and it's pretty easy, you just select it on a calendar. But I'm gonna go ahead and select cancel. Now, we're also not going to check this box or this box because that's a virtual product and that's a downloadable product. And we're going to go over both of those as well, so don't worry. But right now, we're just creating a simple one. So you can go to the inventory tab next, and you can go ahead and choose your settings for managing your inventory. So the SKU is a stock keeping number, and so it's basically the ID for this product. And so I can just do something like 00001. And then as we make more products, we can say 00002, 00003, like that sort of thing. So you can also check if you want to manage stock or not. And so if you say yes, you can actually insert how many you have in stock. So we can say we have 50 of these motorcycles in stock. And then every time it's sold, it'll tell you how much product you have left. So it'll keep track for you. And then you can also allow back orders, which allowing back orders is just managing stock. This controls whether or not back orders are allowed. So if you enable it, basically when the stock is 0, so when you don't have any in stock, people can still order. And so right now I have it set to do not allow. And then this is basically just a notification for you to let you know when you have low stock. So if it's at 50, I'll say the next time I have 5 motorcycles left, let me know so that I can order more. Now the last one is asking if you want to make this product be able to only be sold individually. So basically, if I check this box, you won't have the option to buy multiple motorcycles. You can only click add to cart. There's no increasing how many you want to buy. So if I check this box, there's no up and down arrow, but I'm going to leave it unchecked. All right, so next we go to the shipping tab, and we can enter in the dimensions and weight for the shipping. So we can say that this bike weighs, like 500 pounds or something like that. I don't actually know how much this bike weighs. This is just an example, but you can put the pounds here. Well, it's set to kilograms, but also in the WooCommerce settings, you can change it to pounds if you want. And then the dimensions are centimeters. And so you can change the length, width, and height. And then if you want to do a shipping class, which I'll show you guys how to set up later in a final step in the video, you can select which type here. Next, we have linked products. And so linked products are upsells and cross-sells. And I will be going over these as soon as we're done creating products. And I'll show you guys how to actually add products here. So for now, we're going to skip this part. And then attributes are for variable products, and that's basically like small, medium, large. It could be red, blue, green. There are different attributes that people can select when they're buying this product, but this is a simple product, so I'm not going to add any of these. And then finally, you have the advanced tab. And so under the advanced tab, you've got a purchase note, and so you could say something like this, and basically this is what's going to display once they click on add to cart. So now you can say thank you for your purchase. We'll be emailing you shortly with a confirmation, something like that. All right, and then you can also enable reviews at the very bottom. And so if you uncheck this, basically no one can leave reviews on that product. That's a little risky to do because that inspires buyer trust when they see that other people are reviewing your product. So I would just always leave this enabled, but it is of course your choice. Okay, so now we've got the product short description. So unlike the main description, this is what shows up at the bottom of the page. So this is the in-depth description where you can write as much as you want. This is the short description, and this is what's going to pop up right next to the product. And so basically, I'm actually going to type something here so that you guys see the difference. Wherever you see the dummy text will be the main description, and the short description is going to be something like this. This is the best electric bike on the market. Of course, this would actually be a description, so you would say something like what kind of bike it is, but I'm just putting this here so you guys can see. Okay, so now we're going to scroll over to the top and look over on the top right-hand side. We've got the publish box, and so when we're done, we'll click on publish to save our work and to actually make this live. But before we do that, let's scroll on down and add some categories and some tags. So product categories are basically, well, here's some good examples right here. You could say that men is one category and women is another category because this was a store for clothing, the template was. And so you could click on the men's section and then only get men's clothing. And so we're actually going to remove those categories in a little bit. But first, let's just create our own new category. So the way that we do this is we click add new category and then we can type something in. So I'll just say electric bikes. So something like this. And so right now, this is its main category. I can also put it under something, so I can make this a subcategory of men. So for instance, if this was like t-shirts, I could put this under men and it would be men's t-shirts. But I'm just going to leave it as a parent category so it becomes one of the main ones. So add new category. And then once you add it, it's automatically going to check that box because they assume that if you're creating a new category for this product, that you want it in that category. But you can always uncheck it and put it into the men's section, for instance. Men is a bad example because it doesn't apply to the website we're building, but it's just to, let you guys know you can change the category. So this is an electric bike. Scroll on down. Now we've got the product tags. And so whenever you have a search bar on your website, it's searching through tags as well. So if you want this product to be found by someone searching something like electric, you can go ahead and add that tag. And so for instance, I could also say bike and orange because it's an orange bike, and I'll show you guys the pictures in a second, or something else. But for now, I'm just going to leave it as those, electric bike, and it's orange as well. You can also put electric bike together. It's a little redundant, but you can just have as many tags as you want. I'd recommend trying to think of as many as you can, just so that when people search for anything related to this product, this one will pop up. All right, so now we can scroll on down a little bit more, and we've got the actual product image and the product gallery right here. So we can set the product image, and so I can go to the media library and choose one of my images here, or I can go over to upload files and click select files and pull it from my computer, which is what I'm going to do. Go to my products folder and let's do the simple products. And I've got my orange electric bike. Perfect. And so these are the 3 images that I'm going to be using. So I'll just download them all at the same time. Perfect. So now I've got the orange bike right here. So I'll make this the main image because I'm selecting the main image right now. So I'm going to say set product image. And then the product gallery is like the supporting images right below it. So I'll click this one and choose the other 2. Just like that. And then you can also drag and drop which order you want them to be in, which I don't think it really matters that much, but you can do that if you want to and change the order. And then last but not least, we just go up to the top and click on publish to save our work. Perfect. So now that we've clicked on the publish button, you can see the update button because we can continue to make changes and then just click update and it'll constantly update the product to our website. Now let's go ahead and preview the changes to see what it actually looks like. Perfect. So now this is what our product looks like. We've got the product title right here. We've got the price, which is the regular price, crossed out because we have a sale price enacted. Now, if I didn't have the sale price here, this would just be in black with no slash, of course. So this is the short description right here because we've got this is an electric bike on the market, or the best one. And then down here is the actual description, and this is where they'll have all of the actual stats and information and specs. And then you can see right here, we've got the stock keeping unit number. So if they wanted to search our website for this specific stock keeping number, they could. The category is electric bikes, and then tags are, all of these. And I can actually set it to where the tags are not visible if you don't want them to be, but I don't think it really matters right now. You can also have the availability because we said that it'll show the stock, which is when we click on that checkbox for manage stock, and it shows you how many we have in stock. And then of course, as you hover over the image, it zooms in. And then you can click on the actual plus button and it opens it up in Lightbox, and then you can click through all of them like this. Or you can just click on the actual images and they'll swap through like this. And so now we have an electric bike, which I thought that was pretty cool. Like you actually plug it in like a Tesla or something like that. Okay. And then all you have to do is click on add to cart right here. Now we'll have to change this animation because it looks like the button changes to white, and so you can't see it over the white background. Now, remember when I said you can choose to sell this product individually? That means that this wouldn't be here, and all you can do is click add to cart. You wouldn't be able to select multiple motorcycles because now this is going to be, 8,999 times 5. Which you might actually want to say sold individually if you're selling something as expensive as a motorcycle, but, that's up to you. Okay, and then you can also do reviews right here, and all you have to do is say, this is a great bike. Just like that, and then you can leave a star rating, so I'll give it 5 stars, and you can click on submit. And then your bike actually has one review, and then anyone can add a review by clicking right over here. And so we've got the description and the reviews right next to each other, and so everyone can see it. If you ever want to remove a review from your website, you have complete control over that. If I go back over here to the edit products, so I just go over here to the left-hand side and go to the comments tab. I'll just open it on a new tab just to quickly show you guys where you can modify them. This is a pretty important step so you can moderate the comments on your products. And so right here, if I click unapprove, it's automatically approved. But if I click on unapprove, it'll disappear from my website. And then I can also trash it, or I can call it spam if I want to. So anything right here, I can also reply to it if I want. So that's pretty cool. And then you can do a bulk select just like we did with products, and you can unapprove as many as you want. This is just a stock comment, so I'm actually going to remove that one. So move to trash because I only have this one checked, and click apply. Perfect. And it shows me what account holder actually commented on my product. So right now it's Levi, which is me because I'm logged in as Levi over here, which is the admin, but you know, doesn't really matter. So yeah, you can unapprove whenever you want to. All right, so now that we have a simple product created, let's go ahead and move on to the next product, which is a variable product. So I'm going to close out of this tab, and under edit product, let's just go back to all products here. All right, and so from here, we can just click on the add new button, but there's one more thing that I wanted to show you guys, and it's pretty useful. Instead of having to click on edit and open up all of the settings to edit this product, you can do quick edits, and you can change most of the important stuff right here. So I can change the different tags. If I want to, I can add some more here. I can change what category it's in if I want. I can change the SKU, the price, the sale. So if you want to just quickly change the price, you can just click on quick edit and come right in here and just change it however you want. And then click on update to save your work. Perfect. So now let's click on add new to add a new product. And this time it's going to be a variable product. Now a variable product is basically, for instance, if we had a hoodie and I had different colors and different sizes, that's what a variable product is. It's one product that has multiple variations to it. And so we're going to add individual attributes like small, medium, and large, and then we'll cross them with different variations like blue, green, or red, or something like that. Now for this product, because it's not clothing and it's just a motorcycle, I'm not going to have sizes, but I am going to change the coloring for it. So for the product name, I'll enter in a product title of something like custom sports bike. All right, so then I can scroll on down and I can actually enter in my dummy text again for the description. And of course, this is where you would actually put in a description. But, you know, for now, I'm just going to put dummy text. So from here, we're going to go from simple product down to variable product. And now you can see everything changed because we can't just put a regular price because there's going to be multiple variations of this product. So we're going to have to set the price individually for every variation. But trust me, I'm going to show you how to do everything. So first we're going to go to the SKU and we can just say that this is 00001 and just change it to a 2. And so this is the second product we have. Do you want to manage stock? Yes or no? And then you can change the quantity. So let's just say we have 100 of these. And then do we want to allow back orders? Sure. We can go ahead and say allow, or allow but notify the customer. That's actually the better one because you want to be able to be transparent with the customer and let them know, hey, we are back ordered, but you can do it if you want to. So I'll say allow but notify. And then we can do a low stock threshold of like 10. Let's just say for, you know, example purposes that this is a more popular product than the other one that we just created. So we have a lot more in stock, but we also want our threshold to be higher so that we're notified when there's 10 left rather than 5, just in case that they're going faster. So that's why I can put 10. I mean, I could even put 50 if I wanted to and say that when we get to half, if this is like a really hot product, that I want to keep ordering. Now, of course, you don't have to put a threshold. And then sold individually, if you want to, you can say the checkbox, but I'm just going to leave it off for now. Under the shipping tab, again, you can put in all of the dimensions for this specific product, which I don't know how much this weighs, so I'm going to leave it blank, but you would want to put in like the weight and everything here. For linked products, again, we're going to skip. Now this is where it gets interesting. We've got attributes and variations, and you have to do the attributes first, and then you can create variations of the attributes. And so the attributes are going to be like the small, medium, large, red, blue, green, blah, 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 blah. So I'm going to go ahead and add a custom attribute because that's the only option if you click on it. So we'll click add. I'm going to title it color because that title is what's going to pop up on the actual product list. And then for the values, you can see that you have to enter in some text and then you separate the attributes by the line. And so I'll go ahead and add some attributes. All right, so I've got my attributes, red, blue, pink, orange, and green. And then are they going to be visible on the product page? I want to say yes because I need them to be. But you also have to check this box because if you're going to use them for the variations, which you need to, you have to have this box checked. So let's save those attributes. And you can see now that it actually saved. So I've got my own folder, and it's the color folder. I can click on it, and then I can edit this at any time if I want to, like if I want to add some more or something like that. So now let's go down to the variations tab. From here, we can add variations, but I'm just going to say create variations from all attributes. This is basically going to let WooCommerce do it automatically rather than me creating one at a time, one for red, one for blue, one for green, blah, blah, blah. So I click on go. It's going to notify me that it can only do 50 per time I click go, which is perfectly fine because I only have like 5 options. And then it'll tell you 5 variations have been added, so I click on OK. And now WooCommerce automatically added a variation for each color, which is perfect because that means you don't have to do it for yourself. So I'm going to click on Expand All by clicking on this button right here. And you can see that the red one has been expanded, the blue one has been expanded, and I can edit each individual product. So that's pretty important. So the first thing we can do is say, is it enabled? And I'm going to say yes. You can disable something. For instance, if I ran out of red bikes, I could disable it for a little bit, but I'm just going to leave it enabled. Is this downloadable or virtual? And you can say to which one of these you want, but of course this is an actual motorcycle, so it's not downloadable like an ebook, or virtual like a Zoom call or something like that, or a Skype call. So I'm going to leave both of those unchecked. And then if you want to manage stock, you can click on that and it'll add an extra field. But again, for the example, I'm just going to leave it blank. We can do an SKU for each individual number. So if you want, you could do 0003, 0004, 0005 for each one of these. SKU right there. That's another SKU. Because these are each individual products. But I'm just going to leave that blank for the example because it's kind of unnecessary for just an example. But in real life, you'd want to do it. So for the regular price, I can say something like 12,500. So this bike will cost 12,500. The rest of these I'm actually going to make cheaper because I just think red is going to be the hot color because everyone wants a red sports car or a red sports bike. So I'll make the red one a little bit more expensive, and then the blue one, for instance, will just be 12,000. And so on. I'll make the rest of them 12,000. You can put one of them on sale if you want to, but I'm not going to. And then you can insert the weight and the dimensions just like we did on the shipping tab. And then we've got the shipping class and a description. So for this description, each individual one, you can paste some dummy text or give an actual description. But I'm going to leave that one blank as well. Now, the most important thing for variations is to add an individual image per variation. So remember when we set up a product image here? So I set the main image, and that's the big image, and then the gallery is the little images underneath. So what I'm going to do is actually ignore the gallery, and I'll set a product image. But then every time they click on one of these variations, I want the color to change. And so the way I do that is I set individual images. So I can upload and click on select files, and I actually have this saved. So I'm going to go back to products. Under my variable folder, I've got the same motorcycle I photoshopped with multiple colors. So I've got red, pink, orange, green, and blue. Now, don't judge my Photoshop skills if they're not perfect. I went ahead and did this just for the example. I'm a web designer, not a photographer or a photo editor, so take it for what it's worth. So I'm going to choose the red one and set variation image because I'm on the red one. Now, if I scroll down under the blue motorcycle, I can change this one to be the blue motorcycle, and so on. So I set the regular price and scroll on down. So for this one, I would set an SKU, a regular price, and an image. And then I'll do the same thing for the orange bike. I would put an SKU, I'd put a regular price, and an image. Scroll on down. For the green one, I'd put an SKU, regular price, and a color. And that is everything. All right, so now I can click on Save Changes to save my work. And then after clicking Save Changes, it automatically compresses all of them. But if you want to click on one, you can open it back up and edit whatever you want. And then under the Advanced tab, you can add a purchase note if you want, but I'm just going to leave it blank. All right, so for the short description, you can say something like, perfect. And then on the right-hand side, we can go ahead and add it to a category. So I'm going to add a new category and say Sport Bike. And then if I wanted to add like a subcategory under Sport Bike, I guess I could do Custom. And then I could put it underneath Sport Bike. And then now I have my sport bike, and it's also a custom bike, which is a subcategory, as you can see. All right, so now under product tabs, I could say something like this. So if anybody searches in any search bar on my website, a sports bike or anything like sport or color or custom, it'll take them to this product, or it'll at least show it. And then we can scroll on down, and I will set one main product image. And so I can click on this, and I'll just choose the red one for now because that was the first option. And so now my product image is set. I can scroll up to the top and click on publish to save my work. Perfect. So let's preview the changes to see what happened. All right. And if you notice, I didn't add any images to the product gallery, so that's why we don't have all those images down here. But you can see that my title for my actual variations or attributes pops up. So when you type in your title, make sure it's something that you are okay with being visible, because color is right here. And then another one, for instance, would be size, or I could do like engine size or something like that. But so I have color. I click on it, and if they were to choose blue, the image is automatically going to change to the blue motorcycle, and same with orange and green. And so that's pretty cool. And then from here, you can see that when I select the red motorcycle, the price is $12.5. And then when I select the blue motorcycle, it automatically changes the price as well. So that's pretty cool. And then you might, if you already selected manage stock on the main product, then in each individual, you might want to also check that manage stock button so that you don't, you know, say that someone bought a red bike, but then your stock goes down by 1 on the blue bike section. Does that make sense? So you might want to manage stock individually for each one of these. And then you can also see up here, we've got the title, we've got the $12,000 to $12,005, because if they don't have anything selected right now, it's just going to show red. You can't click add to cart yet. And then it just shows you a range because some motorcycles are more expensive than others. Perfect. And then we've got our description down below, and then related products, which is the other product that we just created. I think it looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and close it. And then I'm going to go over here to add new product. Now, the next product we're going to be creating is a digital or a virtual product. So it's pretty similar to a simple product where there's not a lot of settings, but we are going to finally check the virtual box right here. So let's go ahead and enter in a product title. Okay, so we've got an online coaching Zoom meeting. So this would be like a how to ride a motorcycle kind of teaching. And then we can scroll on down and enter in our dummy text again, just like this. And then scroll on down a little bit more. So now under the simple product, we're not going to choose anything else. It's still a simple product. We'll choose the virtual box right here. And so now we don't actually keep stock of it because it's just a virtual product, but we can still set a regular price. And so I'll set this for something like $300. And then we can even have it on sale for like $255 if we want, just for an example. And again, remember, you can schedule the sale if you want to by choosing dates, but I'm not going to. And then for inventory, you can enter in an SKU number, which again, I'm just not going to be doing right now. And then we can manage the stock, which there's no point to manage a stock when it's just a virtual Zoom call with you. So instead of managing stock, you just need to manage your calendar, basically. For stock status, you can say in stock because it'd be no point to say out of stock unless you just want to disable this product. And then sold individually. Now, this is a big deal. You don't want people to be able to buy multiple Zoom calls. It would just be one, especially if it's an online coaching and it's the same curriculum. So I would just say sold individually. That way there's just a sign up for the course button that you just click once, rather than being able to click on the up or down arrow to add multiple. So linked products, again, we'll get to this soon. We don't have any attributes, but for the advanced tab, this is where the purchase note is actually important. We're going to click right here and type in, instead of something like thanks for purchasing the product, which you still can, you want to make sure you tell them what to do. So you can say something like, so now as soon as they click on the add to cart button and then click checkout and purchase it, the purchase note is going to tell them, hey, be sure to check your email for a confirmation. It'll also have the Zoom call information. Of course, it doesn't have to be Zoom information. Whatever you're doing for this virtual product, you basically just tell them right here, hey, this is how you get your product. That way they're not just left confused after paying for it and they don't know what to do. Okay, so now that we've finished that, we can add a short description. So something like that. It could be a lot more in depth, but again, this is just an example. So let's go back to the top. Instead of clicking publish just yet, we're going to add a new category, and this could be something like online coaching, and add that category. And then actually we could do something like coaching. And then I'm going to show you guys how to edit online coaching, and I'll make that a subcategory of coaching. So in just a hot second, we'll edit the category. So let's first add some tags, something like this. And then we can go down and add a product image. And so I'll upload files. Perfect. So I've got my digital coaching session. I totally just made that image and it looks terrible, but you know, it works. All right. You might want something a little bit more professional than just text on an image, but that's all we have for now. And then I'm going to click on publish to save my work. Perfect. So let's actually preview what the product looks like. So now that we're on our store, we can see that the online coaching Zoom meeting is ready to go. It's on sale. We've got our short description right here, and you can click on add to cart. And so that's all there is to it. And if I were to click on add to cart, view my cart, and then proceed to checkout, which there isn't a payment method set up just yet, so that's why I can't actually place the order. But if I were to click on place order, that's where your purchase note would pop up right here on the center of the screen and tell them to check their email for the Zoom call information. So that's pretty cool. So I'll close out of this guy. And then lastly, I want to show you guys how to edit that category so that you can make the online coaching a subcategory. So if you go over here to the left-hand side, under the products tab, you'll see categories. I'm just going to open that on a new tab real quick just to show you what I'm doing. Here we can edit all the categories that we have. And so we've got, you know, the men category. So actually I'm going to delete this one and any others like accessories that came from the template. And I can just do bulk actions, delete and apply. And now I'm left with all the categories that I created. I can go ahead and edit online coaching, and let's see if I can do it in quick editing. So I can say, you know, the name is online coaching, and I might be able to make it a quick category. No, I cannot. Okay, so it's not in quick edit, so I'm actually going to have to click on edit so that I can edit the category and make it a subcategory. So from here, we can change the parent category to coaching and click on update. Perfect. And then I'll close out of this tab and then refresh my category tab. And then I can also refresh the product page, and now you'll see that it's a subcategory. Perfect. And now you see right over here on the right-hand side, we've got the coaching category, and then it's a subcategory is the online coaching. Just in case you had like in-person coaching as well, you could also have that as a subcategory so they can choose between online and not. So that's pretty cool. Under the categories tab, you can also rename them. You can change them around. You make them subcategories. Right here, you can add a new category the same way that you do when you're editing a product and you click on add new category right there. All you do is enter in a name. The slug is just going to be the lowercase version of the name. So if this was online coaching, I would say this slug would be just like that. So it's the lowercase version with a hyphen in between, just like this. And then you would add a parent category if you wanted to, a description, and then you can add new category. Now here on the category tab, this is the only place you can actually add a thumbnail for the category. So if someone were to click on the category section of your website and they're looking at all of them, they'll have an image rather than just showing this blank image icon right here. And so for instance, for the category of electric bikes, if I wanted to edit it real quick, I could add an image from the media library, which I already have one in here, which is the electric bike. Let's do that one instead. I can use the image and update it. Perfect. Now when I go back to my category tab, you can see it has an image for this category. So then online coaching could have a category, sport bikes in general could have a category, and there can be multiple products of sport bikes underneath the category. But that's how you set a category image. Okay, so let's close out of this tab. All right, so now we've finished our virtual product or our digital product. So now let's go ahead and move on to the next one. So I'm gonna go back to the All Products tab. All right, so let's click on the Add New button. And the next product that I'm gonna be creating is a downloadable product. So a downloadable product is basically something that they can download. It's not virtual, like something that's an appointment online. It's just going to be something that they literally click, add to cart, they pay for it, and then they can click on a download link and it'll download it to their computer. So for the product name, let's just say that I have an ebook that they could download. And we'll call it something like Motorcycle Riding for Beginners. Just like that. And then we can go ahead and enter in just the dummy text again for the description. Go down here, and under Simple Product, we're still going to be using this. We can choose the downloadable section right here. And so this is where things get interesting. Let's go ahead and set the regular price to something like $66 because, you know, it's just an expensive book. Why not? You can put it on sale if you want to, but I'm going to leave it. Now this is what pops up when you check the downloadable box right here, and it's the actual download file. And so you can go ahead and click on add file. You can say what the name is going to display as. So let's just say the ebook. And then you can actually put in the URL. So you'd have to upload your file to either like a Dropbox or something and then put the link here, or you can choose the file and upload it straight to WordPress. And so you would just click on upload files, select files, and you could enter in the book, like the PDF of the book, into WordPress, and then they can download it from here as well. Perfect. And so I'm not going to do this right now, so just remove that. The download limit is also important, as well as the download expiry. So the download limit is how many times they can download the book. So if you only want them to get one copy, you can just say 1, and now they can only download it once. Now, what I like to do is normally do 2 or maybe 3, so that if they accidentally download it and then forget where they saved it, they can download it once or twice more. So that leaves room for human error. I would recommend not leaving it as unlimited, because then they can just download a ridiculous amount of your books and then distribute them, which might not be the best thing. So let's just say 3 for now. And then the download expiry is just how many days before the download link expires. Oh, it actually says it right here. So how many days until the download link expires, or leave blank. And so you can say they have 3 days to download my book. And then after 3 days, the link is not valid. And then if for some reason they didn't download it, which is their problem, but if they didn't download it, they can kind of contact you and be like, hey, I never downloaded it. And you can kind of make an exception if you want to send the link to them. But that just sets an expiry limit so that it expires after 3 days, and you can, take care of business. Okay, so you can go to the inventory tab. It's an ebook, and you have unlimited stock, so there's no reason to manage stock unless you just wanted to see how many you're selling, but you can see that in your analytics anyways. Sold individually, you definitely want to check, because you don't want them to be able to pay for multiple books and only be able to download it once or twice. And so sold individually is important, so I'll check that guy. Under the shipping, it doesn't have any weight or dimensions because it's just a digital downloadable product. We could upsell and cross-sell, but again, I'm going to get to this after we set up products. No attributes, and then if you want to enter a purchase note, you can. Perfect. So now under the short description, you could say something like, just coming up with something random. Okay, so we'll go up to the top, and we can go ahead and add a new category, ebooks. And then if you wanted a subcategory, of course you can. We can add some tags. Downloadable. I don't even know if I spelled that right, but whatever. Okay, so we'll scroll on down. We can go down to the product image right here, and we'll set the image. And then I'll just click on my ebook right here and open it up. Perfect. And then click on set my product image. And then if you had multiple images of the same book, you can, add the product gallery, but I only have one. This is just a random book that I found online, a picture of it, and then I photoshopped all of that on there, and I didn't feel like trying to photoshop multiple images. All right, so let's click publish to save our work, and then we can preview it. And click on preview changes. And so we have our book right here, so Motorcycle Riding for Beginners. It's got our cool logo right here. And then we can go to add to cart right here, and you can only order one. And then once you click on add to cart and purchase it, it'll send you a download link, which is where you download the ebook. So I'll just close out of that tab, and then I'll go back to the all products tab right here. Okay, so I'm going to click add new product again. And this time I'm going to create an affiliate product. So an affiliate product is something that you're actually not selling on your website. You're part of an affiliate program, and you're selling someone else's product on your site. And so you have to have an affiliate link, and then it'll take your client over to that other website. For instance, if I was an affiliate with Amazon, they click on the button on my website and it takes them to Amazon, and then they purchase the product over there, and then I get a commission for making the sale. And so let me show you guys how to do that. Now, I do have a tutorial on the channel that shows you how to do an entire affiliate website, e-commerce store. And so if you're interested in that, I can go ahead and leave a link down in the description. But for now, I'll show you guys just how to make one product. And so let's title this motorcycle helmet, just like this. And then under the description, let's just paste the dummy text again. And then under simple product, I'm actually going to change it to external affiliate product. And as you can see, it's going to be asking for a URL. Now, for an example, I'm actually just going to show the product URL for Amazon. Like, I'm just going to copy the link, but you really want to make sure that you actually have an affiliate link. That way you get a commission for making the sale. Okay, so I went ahead and found a motorcycle helmet that looks pretty similar to the product image that I have. Again, this is an example, so it doesn't have to be perfect. So I'm just going to copy this hyperlink right here, and I'm going to go over here and paste it right here. Now, this is not what you want to do in real life. What you want to do is make sure that you actually sign up for the affiliate program. They'll tell you how much of a percentage of the sale you get, and then they give you a link to that product. It's a special link that tells Amazon or whatever affiliate program you're with that you made the sale. So for this example, I'm just copying the hyperlink because I just want to replicate what it would look like, but this isn't actually giving me any kind of sale commission or anything. This is totally just for the example. And then you can change what you actually want the button to say. So by default, it says buy product, but I'm going to say buy on Amazon or check out on Amazon, just like this. And then for the regular price, you actually need to set this to the exact same price that you're selling it for on the website. So for instance, Amazon's selling it for $59.99. That's what I have to put here. Just like this. Perfect. So now that we have everything set up here, we can go down and do a short description, which honestly, I'm just going to paste some dummy text. And then we can go back to the categories tab and add a new one for helmets. And then we can add some tags as well. And then we can add some images. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and set these as the original, or I'm going to set this one as the main image. And then I can go ahead and add the other one to the gallery so they have a second image to look at. And we are good to go. So let's go ahead and publish. And then preview the changes. All right, so now we've got motorcycle helmet. We can check out on Amazon. So I'll click on that in just a second, but we've got the actual price right here, a short description. They've got images that they can look at. So that's that one. And then here's the second image as well. So a cool looking helmet. And then if they click on checkout with Amazon, it'll actually take them to the affiliate link, which for right now, mine is just an example. So it's just the regular link, and they can purchase it on Amazon. And we are good to go. Perfect. So I'm just going to go back to the products tab. All right. And then I'll click on add new. And then the final product we're going to be creating is going to be a grouped or bundled product. And so let's go ahead and add a product name, and I'll just call it the Rider Bundle. And so what a grouped product is you're basically just creating a folder and you're putting multiple products on your website into this folder. And so when they click on this one, they can buy multiple products at the same time. And so the Riders Bundle will have something like a helmet, a motorcycle, and maybe an ebook that they can have. And so we scroll on down, we can put our dummy text. I'm going to close Amazon. So we can get our dummy text over here. And then we're going to change simple product over to a grouped product right here. And then you can put an SKU in here if you want to, but I'm not going to. Now, this is the only time under linked products I'm going to do something. And so this is where you actually add the grouped products. And so right here, you just search the different products that you have already on your website. And so let's do the electric motorcycle right here, which it also shows you the SKU. We can do the motorcycle helmet. And then we can also do something like the ebook. Perfect. And it automatically searches from the products that we've already created. And then again, upsells I'll go over later. All right, so now that we finished grouping the products, we can scroll on down. And you don't have to stop at 3. You can do as many as you want, but I'm just doing 3 for the example. And then right here, you can just say, if you want to, something like that. All right, a new category could be bundles. And then here we can just add some tags. All right. And let's add a product image. And I've got my own Riders Bundle image that I created. And then I'll just set the product image. And then what I'm going to do is the gallery is going to be the other images of the other products. And so I think I selected the electric bike here. And then after the electric one, I also used the motorcycle helmet and the ebook. That's what it was. And so add to gallery. And then I can click on publish. All right, so let's go ahead and preview the changes. And so for the Riders Bundle, you'll see that the price range varies because it determines, how many times they select the electric motorcycle, because this one has many options. They can click checkout right here. And then also the ebook is a totally different product. This is kind of a bad example because I selected different types of products. And so I have the electric motorcycle, which is a simple product. This is an affiliate. And then this one is a downloadable product. So this would be a bad example, but if you had 3 simple products, it would be a lot easier to kind of give this as an example. But you guys get the idea. You'd have 3 different products right here. They click add to cart, and it's just a bundle price. And so they pay for the whole thing, basically. It'll add up everything that's in here when they click add to cart. And then on top of that, we've got the actual image here, but then they can click through and see what they're getting. So they're getting that helmet, that bike, and the book. All right, I'm actually off camera gonna add just a couple extra simple products just so that we have a few more things on the website so it looks a little better. So I'll see you guys in just a second. All right, guys, so all I did was go back and enter in some simple products. So I basically just added a couple motorcycles. I've got this small black cruiser, and all I did was give it a price and an image. Same with this gray one. It's just an image and a price. So there's nothing in it, basically, just so we have more to work with. But now that we've created some products, we can go ahead and move on to step number 7, which is upsells and cross-sells. So in order to show you guys how to do an upsell and a cross-sell, I'm actually just going to show it to you guys right away. We'll go into the edit. So I'm going to go into the electric motorcycle that we just built. And then if you guys remember correctly, we'll scroll on down and go to the linked products right here under product data. And we have upsells and cross-sells. So upsells and cross-sells are basically just related products that you can display in 2 different places in order to see if you can get them to buy more things on your website. So for instance, if someone was buying like a motorcycle helmet, one of the upsells could be a motorcycle jacket. And so you say, hey, you're already buying this helmet. Don't you need a jacket to ride as well? Check this one out. So something like that. So for upsells, let's go ahead and actually do that, the motorcycle helmet. And then for the cross-sell, I'll go ahead and do that custom bike that we had. So the custom sports bike, just like this. Now, the upsells are going to show on the actual page when they're viewing the product. So when they're viewing the electric motorcycle, they'll see the motorcycle helmet as a recommended on the bottom. Cross-sells are going to show up on the cart. So when they're viewing their cart, they'll see this. So let me go ahead and click on update to save, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. Perfect. So I'm going to click on preview changes. All right. And so when we're actually on the product page, they're going to see the motorcycle helmet. So when I scroll on down, here it is. And so it says you may also like, and then we've got, you know, the motorcycle helmet, and you can have multiple. So you can have one right here, here, and here as well. But I just did one just to show you guys. And then when they actually add something to cart and then click on view cart, that's where they're actually going to see the other one, which is the cross-sell. And so this is that custom sports bike. And so it says you may also be interested in this one. And so again, you can add multiple and they'll just pop up side by side all the way down. All right, and that's how you do upsells and cross-sells. So now that we've finished those, we can go ahead and move on to step number 8, which is the customization of the header and footer. So I'm just going to go back to the dashboard so I have one open and then close out of this tab right here. And we also don't need the dummy text anymore, so I'll close out of that tab. All right, so right now, if I were to open our website up on a new tab, I'm going to be showing you guys how to edit this top part up here. So this is your header. You've got your navigation menu and your logo over here. This is a site title, so we're going to remove that as well. And then if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, I'll show you how to mess around with the footer as well. And I'm also going to show you guys how to insert your own logo and site icon, which is this little logo right here, which right now it's just HostGator's mascot, which is the gator. So in order to do this, we're just going to go over here to the Customize tab and click on it. Another way that you can get here on the dashboard, if you weren't already viewing the page, is you can go down to the Appearance tab and then click on Customize right here. It's the same thing. So this right here is the theme customizer. So if you remember, we downloaded Astra as our theme, and so right now we're using Astra to edit this portion of the website, which is the top and bottom. So let's go ahead and start editing the header. It's pretty simple. You just open up the header builder right here, and then you can drag and drop different widgets onto this board. So for instance, if I wanted my site identity and logo to be in the middle, I can just drag it right here to the center, and you'll see that now my logo is in the center. And then I can move the menu over to the left-hand side, and now it's a jumbled mess. But at least you see that you can move things around however you want. So I'm just going to move everything back. All right, so the first thing that I want to show you guys how to do is how to change your own logo. And actually, I'm going to show you how to build your own as well. So in order to do this, let's go ahead and open up a new tab and go to a website called Logo Maker, but without the E. All right, and then I'm just going to click out of this video because it's going to be a tutorial on how to use Logo Maker, but I'm here to show you guys how to use it right now. So in the top left corner, you can search from over 1 million different graphics, and so you can click here. Over here on the left side, you've got text, shapes, and the paint bucket. And then over here on the right-hand side, you've got saturation, and then you also have the color wheel, so you can change what color you want, and opacity right here. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and grab a circle. So I'm going to open up shapes and add a circle. Once you have your shape, you can click and drag wherever you want to put it. And you can resize it by dragging on these corners like this. So I can make it bigger, or I can stretch. And then I can also rotate like this. So I'm going to add another circle. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. And I'm going to make it like a dark gray. So something like this. I'm going to click on this little style button right here, and I can do some little settings to the circle, and one of them is cutout, and I'm actually going to drag this all the way up until it's like a giant ring like this. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually make it a little bit bigger, and I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to click on duplicate. And so it's going to make a second one right here. I'm going to make this one just a little bit smaller, and then put it inside. Just like that. And then next, what I'm going to do is actually cut it out even more, so it's even thinner. Perfect. All right, so the next thing I want to do is go over here to the text function and add my own text, which the name of the business that I'm kind of fake creating is GT Powersports. So I'm just going to type in a capital G and a capital T, and then I can drag it wherever I want, and I can, of course, resize it as well, so I'm going to make it a lot bigger. I want to change the color to some sort of neon green, so something like this. I think that looks pretty good. And then I'm also going to change the text font as well. And so I can choose a category first, like 3D, or it can be scary, pixel, handwriting, which I'm actually going to use pixel monospace. And then you can choose the actual font right here. And so I'm actually going to use audio wide. I think this looks pretty good. Now I'm going to go ahead and click on the text button again to add some more text. And this time I'm going to type out the word Powersports. Just like that. And I'm going to make it the same dark gray as the actual circle. And then I'm actually going to change the category to simple and modern. And I think able works just fine. I'm going to click on the styles button right here. And I can change things like line width, height, spacing. But I actually want my letter spacing to be all the way maxed out like this. And then I can resize by using my drag. So I'll make it a little bit smaller like this. So now I'm going to drag my GT right into the center like this and lift it all the way up. And once I have something highlighted, I can actually move it around with my arrow keys to make small adjustments like this. I'll put Powersports right underneath. And as you can see, it's still too big, so I'm going to shrink it even more. Actually, I'll reduce the letter spacing just a little bit and then increase the size. So something like this. And center it. Which actually I'm going to have to use my arrow keys just a little bit. I think that looks pretty good. Lastly, I'm going to go up and search a graphic for a motorcycle. And I really like this one, so I'm going to use it. And I'm going to make it the same dark gray color as the circle, just kind of eyeballing it like this. Put it in the center. And then I'm going to shrink it. And recenter it. I think it can be a little bit bigger. Perfect. All right, so that's my logo. I'm actually going to go ahead and move the motorcycle over a little bit more. If you want to highlight multiple things at the same time, you can actually drag over everything, and now I can make my logo a lot bigger because I'm highlighting everything. Or I can hold the Control or Command button and click on one thing at a time, so I can control my letters and my motorcycle. And I can make each of these move over if I want. All right, so I think everything looks good, but I actually forgot I want Powersports to be the same green, so I'm going to click on the GT right here and just copy this, so Control or Command C, and then I'm going to click on my Powersports and paste it, Control or Command V, and now it's both the same color. I think that looks good. So whenever you're done with your logo, I just did this one as an example, you can go up to the top and click on Save Logo. And it's going to ask if you want to buy the high resolution file for $19, but you're going to say no thanks. I just want the low resolution file for free. And then when you click on it, you save the file. So I'm going to go ahead and close out of this guy. We're not done just yet. So next, I want to make a white logo in case I have a transparent background, and I'll show you guys what I mean in a little bit. But first, what I'm going to do is click over here on the circle, hold the Control or Command key, and click on the second circle and on the motorcycle, which is the clip art right here. So now I'm going to change these guys to the white color, like this. Now I know it's invisible, but it's definitely still the white color. And so I'm going to go ahead and save the second logo and click on no thanks. I'll take the low resolution file. And lastly, I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to go ahead and make an actual icon for the website as well. So I'm going to click on my circles, holding the Command or Control key and my clip art, and I'll make it gray again. And now what I'm going to do is actually remove the power sports and remove the motorcycle. I'm going to make GT completely centered in the circle, and then I'm going to make it a lot bigger. Perfect. So that's my logo, or excuse me, that's my site icon. That's what's going to go right up here. So now I'm going to go ahead and click on Save Logo, and no thanks, I'll take the low resolution. All right, and then we can close out of this tab right here, and we can go into the header builder, and there's two ways you can do it. There's actually three. You can click on this little blue pencil icon when you're hovering over the logo, and it'll take you to editing the logo, as you can see. You can also click on the site identity widget down here. It'll take you to the same place. Or you can click right here on site identity and logo. All three take you to the same place. And so now we can change the logo. So for this logo, this is the main logo. What I want to do is actually change it to mine. So I'm going to go ahead and upload the files. And take all three of my logos and update them at the same time. That way they're already on my media library. And now that I see it, the one that I created off camera actually has the motorcycle in the background. That's pretty funny. I forgot to do that. All right, so I'm going to use my main logo right now and click on Select. And I'm just going to say Skip Cropping down here in the corner. All right, so now my logo's up here. I can go ahead and remove the Retina logo. And it's going to show my regular logo right now. And then I can also add my site icon at the very, very bottom. So I'm going to click here. And I'm going to use my GT site icon. And I'll say skip the cropping as well. And now you can see that my icon is actually up there, so that's pretty cool. Now lastly, what we have to do is change the transparent logo. Because right now it's pulling the correct logo, which is fine. This is the main one, but I actually have the white one for transparent backgrounds. Because when it's transparent, it's usually going to be darker, and so it makes this gray hard to see. That's why I created this white one. So we can go back one more time and go over to the transparent header, and we can change this final logo right here. And you can see they did the same thing. They made a white version of the same logo. So I'm going to remove the Retina, change this one to my white logo, and we are all set. Now the last thing I'm going to do is just remove the site title. So I can click on the pencil again, or just go over to the site identity and logo, and then scroll down a little bit, and you'll see the site title, and I can go ahead and disable it. Perfect. Now, one more thing. It looks like it automatically took the regular logo again. So let's just go back one more time, go to transparent header, and make sure that a different logo is selected for the transparent. So I'm going to disable it and re-enable it. There we go. That fixed it. So now, whenever you're done, we can click on Publish to save our work. And we have our logos uploaded as well as our site icon. So that's perfect. And we've removed the site title down here. Now we're going to go ahead and edit the header menu right here, or the navigation menu, and then I'm also going to remove this border because I don't like it. So I'm going to click on the back button, and then I'm going to go down to the actual primary menu. Actually, before I do, I can go ahead and click on this blue icon right here, this pencil icon, to edit this row, or I can click on this little setting tab right here, and it's going to edit the entire row. So I'm going to click on this guy, go to the Design tab, and I can remove this border just by changing this to 0. And now there's no longer a border. All right, and now that we set that to 0, the last thing I want to do also is remove this darkness to it. It looks like they added a little bit of a background color. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the back button and go down to my transparent header. And I can go to the Design tab. And now I can change the color of this. So I go to the background overlay, and I'm just going to set it to nothing. So I'm going to make it completely transparent. Perfect. I like how it looks like that. Now that we're in the transparent header, we can actually change this color of the navigation menu as well while we're inside the transparent header, because this is activated up here. It's transparent. So we can go down to the menu color and change the text color first. And so I'm actually going to change this to completely white. And then I'm going to go ahead and paste in the green color that I still have on my clipboard from when I was making this logo. And so now the active link is going to highlight green. So whenever I hover over anything else, it turns green. So that's pretty cool. And then the background color, I'm actually not going to change, because if you do this, you'll have like this highlight behind it and it looks terrible. So I'm just going to click on the reset button. All right. And the last thing I want to change is this little cart icon. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the cart widget right here. And I can go to the design tab. So the first thing I can do is change if it's outline or if it's fill. And so when I click on fill, you can see that it actually just filled it in. But I like the outline version. But I am going to change the color to match the same green. So I'm just going to click here and paste the same color. And it's good to go. All right. So now I'm going to click on publish to save my work. All right, now that we're done, I think that header looks fantastic. So let's go ahead and start messing around with the footer. So I'm going to click on the back button twice to get back to the main menu, and then drop down to the footer builder right here. Perfect. So as you can tell, this footer has already been created for the template because it's got a for her section and a for him section. So I'm going to be removing both of those lists. I'll probably create my own list for product categories. And then I think I'm also going to move this guy over and put my logo right here. I think I'm going to keep these images on the side. I think it looks professional. So let's go ahead and take care of that. The first one I'm going to remove is the for her section. So I'm just going to click on this widget right here, and I'm actually just going to remove it. Yeah. So I'm just going to click on this little X button to remove it. I'll take the quick links and I'll move it over by 1. And now you can see that we've got quick links right here. So I'm going to click on the plus button right here, and let's try adding our own widget. Now it looks like it's going to auto-populate with what I just deleted, which is perfectly fine. I couldn't care less because I'm just going to click on it. Okay, now from here, I'm going to be editing my own widget. So what I'm going to do is actually remove the for her section because it just, again, it just auto-populated with what I just deleted. So you just click on it, and then I'm going to click on the 6 dots here, or 3 dots here. There's only 3, not 6. And I'm going to click on remove block. And then I'm going to add one, and it's just going to be an image. And then I'm going to pull it straight from my media library. And I'm going to put my logo into the footer, and then click on select. And so now my image is in here. What I am going to do is change the alignment right here to align with the center. And so now you can see that it's equally aligned. And then I'm actually just going to shrink it from the bottom, so make it a little bit smaller like this. And I'll do a lot more. Perfect. So now my logo has been shrunk and it fits into the footer. And then I'm going to edit this widget next. So I'm going to go over here to widget 3. And you'll see that I've got a navigation list here. So it's a navigation menu widget. So I'm going to go ahead and add my own navigation menu. So search navigation menu. All right. And now I'm going to have to actually create my own navigation menu real quick. So to do that, let's go ahead and click publish just to save where we are. And we're going to come right back to it. But the way we do that is we click on the back button twice, and we're going to drop down to menus right here. Now, also, this is where we can edit this menu up on top. I didn't edit it because it actually works just fine because we've got the store, an account page, about, and contact, because this all came with the template. So for instance, if you clicked on contact us, it'll take you to a separate page, which is the contact page, as you can see. And so this would be another page that we have to edit later, but I'm not going to do it right now. So I'm actually going to remove both of these menus and then create my own. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this first one by clicking on it, scroll down to the bottom and click on delete menu. And I'll do the same thing for the for him, scroll on down to the bottom and click on delete menu. Perfect. So now that those are out of the way, I've got my main menu, which is this one up top. And then my quick links menu, which is pretty much the exact same thing. As you can see, so it's got a home, about, account, cart, and contact. But this quick links menu is what is powering this widget right here. And so I have to create a separate navigation menu so that I can put it right down here. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to click on Create New Menu, and I'll call this one Product Categories, just like this. And then where I want product categories to be displayed is in the footer menu. So I'm going to check this box right here. And then I'm going to click on the Next button. And now I get to add new items. So I'm going to click Add Items, and I'll close the Pages tab because I can click on whichever drop down I want and it'll drop down something else. So instead of Pages, I'm going to drop down to Product Categories. And then all the categories that I created earlier when I was creating categories, so sport bike, cruiser, electric bikes, custom, online, all that stuff, I'm just going to highlight all of it. All right. And then I'll click on the Add Items button again to just remove that menu. Now, if you want to rearrange these, all you have to do is drag and drop them. So I can take cruiser and I can move it up and put it on top of sports bike, and now it's on top. You can ignore the fact that they're together like this. They're all the same rank. Now, if I want to make a subcategory, all I have to do is click and drag it in a little bit, and you see how that dotted line right there moves underneath online coaching? That means that it's now a subcategory of online coaching. But I'm going to leave it as a main category, so I'm just going to slide it back out. All right, so now that we've created the category, I'm going to click Publish to save it. And now we can go back down to this section right here and put it in. So I'm going to go ahead and back out twice and go down to the footer builder. And then if you remember, widget 3, if I scroll down, is the blank area because we've got, it's out of order because I rearranged them, but widget 2 is this one, widget 1 is this one, widget 3 is the empty space, and then widget 4 is this guy right here. So I'm going to click on this widget. I'm going to go ahead and remove the for him by clicking on it, go to the 6 dots and say remove block. And now I've got that navigation menu that I added earlier, but just for reference, I'll do it again. So let me remove it. So all you do is you click on add block, you search navigation menu, and voila, I've added the menu. And so now I can title it. So I'm going to title it the same thing because the text right here in the title is what's going to pop up for quick links like this. So I can call this navigation menu if I can type. And then for select menu, as you can see, I've got all 3 menus that I've created. And so I'm going to choose the product categories one that we just created a few seconds ago. Perfect. And now you can see that the navigation menu has populated all the way down. Now there's a whole bunch of navigation for categories, as you can see. And actually, I just realized I called it navigation menu, but it's the product categories. That's funny. So let's go ahead and retitle this as product categories, and then I'm going to click on publish to save my work. Perfect. So now we've got our product categories right here, our quick links right here, and then our logo. Now, one thing I've noticed is, as you can see, this list is way longer than this list. And so if you just wanted to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 options to the product categories, what you could do is change it up and say something like the popular categories, and then click publish to save. And then we can go back to the menus tab right here, and we can edit the product categories, and we'll call it popular. And then we can actually remove a few. So let's just keep 5. So I will keep sports bikes, electric, and cruisers, and then custom bikes and helmets. So let's just remove everything else real quick. So you just click on it and then scroll down to where you can click on remove. Just like this. Remove and remove. Perfect. All right, and then I can click on publish. Now, of course, these I just chose out of random, but you would actually pay attention to which ones are the most popular categories that people go to, and then you can actually choose those accordingly. So let's click the back button, go back down to the footer menu. All right, and then after scrolling down, now you can see that they fit just right. So now it's 5 links here and 5 links there. So now that we're done editing the footer, if you want, you can make this a little bit bigger. I think it needs to be just a little bit bigger, so I'll actually make it just a smidge. Perfect. Okay, so now that our footer is done, we can go ahead and move on to the next step, which is step number 9, and that's to customize the home page. So I'm going to click Publish to save my work, and then close out of this tab. All right, so in order to customize the home page, what I'm going to do is go ahead and open up the website on a new tab. So you just click on the title of your website right here. And from here, we actually get to use that super easy to use drag and drop page builder that I talked about at the beginning of the video. It's called Elementor. And all you have to do is just go to the top of the website right here and click Edit with Elementor. And then Elementor is going to take a second to open up. Now, if for some reason you didn't see that little word up there that says Edit with Elementor, another way you can get to it on the dashboard is just go to the Pages tab, and you can go to All Pages. And then you can go through all the pages which you want to edit the home page right here, and you can click on Edit with Elementor right here as well. Just wanted to show you guys that. Okay, so now we're editing the page in Elementor. I just want to say welcome. This is the dashboard for Elementor. It's really easy to use. You've got all of your basic widgets right over here on the left-hand side on the menu. And then anytime you want to get back to this, say I was editing a widget, all you have to do is click on these 6 dots right here, and it takes you back to all of the widgets like this. Now, anytime you want to enter in something to the website, you just click on it and drag it over to the website, and you'll see wherever that blue line is where that widget is going to go. So I'm going to right-click this guy and delete it. If I wanted to drag him down below, I can, so I can put him right there. And so what you can do is right-click and click on Edit the Heading, or you can click on Delete. But for Edit Heading, you can actually edit it over here in this text box right here, or I can click straight onto the page and edit it right here as well. So either way works, but I'm going to go ahead and delete that one as well. You can edit anything by clicking on this little pencil icon, and that's how you edit this button. Or if I wanted to edit this title, I can click on this button, and it's the same thing as right-clicking and saying Edit. Let me go over the layout. So we've got this background right here, and this is called a section. And so you'll see because it's surrounded by this blue line all the way around. And so that's like the background. If you want to edit the section, you can right-click and say Edit the Section, or you can click on these 6 dots right here. And now you can see I'm editing the section. I can also add a section by clicking on the plus button, and then I can delete the section by just deleting this one that I'm in right now. Now within a section, you've got columns, and it's these gray dotted lines right here. So you can see I've got one right here and one right here. So this has 2 columns. And then within columns, you can actually enter in widgets, which are the text functions or buttons or things like that. If I want to add a new column, I can just right-click right here and say Add New Column. And it's going to add an extra one. And now I can place widgets inside of this guy as well. But I'm going to delete this one. So now that we're here, let's go ahead and edit this hero section and the rest of the homepage to look way cooler. So I'm going to go ahead and right-click and say Edit the Section. So you can click right here and change the height of the section. And so I'm going to change it from default to fit to screen. And so that's going to make this section automatically fit to the bottom of my screen, which is down here. And depending on what screen size you have, it's automatically going to choose the bottom of the screen. And then if I scroll down, you can see it's right there at the bottom. Perfect. I'm also going to go to the Advanced tab and remove any padding that's automatically in here, just because I'll show you guys what this does later. But I'm just going to go ahead and remove it. Perfect. Because I set that to fit to screen. So the next thing I'm going to do is actually remove this column. So I'm going to right-click on it and say Delete. That way my content is centered. And then from here, I'm going to drag this one to be above, like this. And I'm going to change the alignment right here to be centered. I'll click on this one as well, and I'm going to change it to center as well. And then I'm actually going to remove both of these buttons right here. So I'll just right-click and say Delete, right-click and delete. And lastly, what I'm going to do is add another 2 widgets down below. So I'm going to go up to the Rubik's Cube icon right here and open up my Widgets tab. And I'm going to add a divider. And then I'm also going to add a button. So let's go ahead and change the button to be centered. So one more thing that I wanted to show you guys how to do to make this a lot easier is change Elementor's system settings. And so this will make this whole process of editing the website a lot faster. So let me show you guys how to do that. And before I even do that, I'm actually going to delete this button because in a minute, I'm actually going to show you guys how to fix this completely. So I'm going to click on Update just to save my work. So this green button means that I'm updating the website and now it's live. All right. So I'm going to go up to this hamburger icon up here in the top left corner of Elementor, and I'm going to go to Site Settings. Now this is really cool because I'm going to set the global colors and the button settings so that every time I add a new widget, I don't have to customize it every single time. It'll already be customized. So in order to do that, let's change the colors first. And as you can see, there's a ton of different default colors. I'm actually going to delete most of them until there's only 4 or 5 left. I think that should be good. Let's go with 4. Now, don't worry about the words or what colors they are because we're going to change them right now. All you have to do is you can type right here what color you want it to be. So you basically just enter in your title, click on it, and you can change the color from here. So I'm going to change this one to be completely black. I want this one to be completely white. This one can be a light gray. So I'll change it to be kind of a lighter gray. And I'm actually going to make this one a darker gray. So something like this. And then lastly, I'm actually going to add one more color, and I'll make it the green that we used in our logo in our header menu, which is still in my clipboard, so I'm just going to paste it. If you still don't have this in your clipboard, you can go back to the dashboard, go to the Appearance tab, and under Customize, open it up on a new tab. And then from here, I'm going to go into the Header Builder, Transparent Menu, Design tab, and you can copy the green from right here. Okay, so now that I've pasted the green in here, I'm also going to call this green and then call it a day. So let's click on the back button. So our global colors are good, so I'm going to click on Update to save my work. Now next, and the final thing I'm going to do is change the buttons. And so for this button, I'm going to click on it, and this is the default button. So every time I drag the widget in, this is what I'm editing right now. So for the text and shadow and the typography, I'm just going to leave it the way it is because I can edit that every time. It's not that big of a deal. The text color, what I'm going to do is change the initial one to white, just like this. And the background color, I'm going to change to green. And then what I'm going to do is go over to the hover animation. And so that way, every time I hover over it, similar to when I hover over this menu and it changes color, I'm changing that hover animation for a button. So I'm going to change the color to green. And then for the background color, I'm going to change it to black. Perfect. And then I'm going to click on Update to save. All right. And once you've done this, we can click on the X button right here to close out of the site settings and go back to Elementor. All right. So now that we're here, we can click on the button right here and drag it in. And you'll see that it's already pre-formatted to be that cool green and black color, just like this. So now I'm going to center it up and change the text right here. And we'll say View Inventory. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is add a link to the button. So basically, anytime they click on it, it'll take them to this link. If I were to take out that placeholder, you'll see that you just put in a regular URL. But I'm going to teach you guys something that's a little bit of a trick. I want this button to take them down to the inventory right here, the featured products, which right now it's blank because I haven't featured any of them yet. And I'll show you guys how to do that in just a little bit. But I want it to take them down to this section. So what I'm going to do is right click out here and say edit this section. And I'm going to go to the Advanced tab. And under CSS ID, I'm going to call this Inventory. Just like that. And so basically I'm saying this section is now called Inventory. And so when I say I want this button to take them to Inventory, it will take them to that section. So in the link, instead of putting in a hyperlink, I'm actually going to put the hashtag back in there. And then type out the word inventory, just like this, and click on Update to save. Now when I click on the button, it drops them down automatically to the featured products section. So that's pretty cool. So I'm going to scroll back up. So let's go ahead and change these titles. And so I'm going to go ahead and change this one first, Performance Realized. And then I'm also going to change this one right here, Never Settle. All right. And then what I'm going to do is actually change the typography for both of these. So I'm going to go over to the Style tab and drop down to typography right here. And I'm going to increase the size of the second one, actually. The first one, I'm going to actually reduce the size a little bit. So something a little smaller. I'm going to transform the text to be uppercase. And I'm going to reduce the weight down to 200. Actually, let's make it 100. 200 is fine. All right. And then I'm going to change the letter spacing and increase it like this. Something like that actually looks good. Okay, perfect. So that's the first one. And then the second one is going to be Never Settle. And so I'm going to click on this guy and go to the Style tab. And click on the pencil icon for typography. And then from here, I want this one to be a little bit thicker. So let's say maybe 500. Let's try 600. So this is basically the thickness of the letters. So actually, I think that looks good. We'll transform it to uppercase. And then increase the letter spacing. Just a little bit. Not as much as the second one, or the top one. And then I'm going to increase the size like crazy. Perfect. Actually, I'm going to reduce the weight just a little bit more. And then increase the size. Perfect. Okay, so next I'm going to click on the divider and edit this guy. So the first thing I want to do is make it centered. because right now it's set to the left by default. And so basically if I were to reduce the weight, or excuse me, the width, you'll see that it's reducing to this side rather than the center. And so now it's in the center. It's hard to see right now because it's black, but now I'm going to reduce it to be about this big right here. I'm going to go to the Style tab, change the color to white, so now it's a little easier to see, and I'll change the weight up to like 3, which is going to make it way thicker. And then I can also increase the gap if I want to. So something like this. And lastly, I'm going to edit this button just a little bit more. Oh, I clicked on it. So I'll right click and say edit the button. Over here, I can change the size of the button, so I can make it large if I want to, and it gets a little bit bigger, but honestly, I don't think I need to. I think it's fine as small. I am, however, going to go to the Style tab, and for the typography of the button, I'm going to switch it to uppercase and increase the letter spacing. And then I'm going to reduce the size. Perfect. And I'm actually not going to play with the line height, so I'm going to say Control Z to undo what I just did. Perfect. I think that looks pretty good. So lastly, all we have to do is edit the background. So I'm going to right click and click on Edit Section, go to the Style tab, and you can see I can change the image. So I'm going to click on it and upload my own file. And choose this image. All right, and then insert the media. And just like that, that's how you put an image into the background. Next, what I'm going to do is make sure that I close background and go down to background overlay, which is this filter where it's kind of darker. If I were to remove it right now and clear it, you'll see that the image is perfectly bright, and now you can't see the text. So what I want to do is actually put a black overlay over the image, and then I can change the opacity right here, so I can make it way darker, or I can make it down to nothing, which is transparent. So I'm going to increase it to something like half, maybe a little bit more. And I actually kind of want to add a little bit of a bluish color to it. Actually, I kind of like it black, so I'll just leave it black. Okay. All right. So that's how the hero section looks. I think it looks fantastic. And anytime they click on View Inventory, it takes them straight down here to the inventory right there. All right. So let's go ahead and move on to the next section, which is this little logo section here, and then also these featured products. So these are just obviously a bunch of fake logos that they have here, but this is kind of social proof, and so you could put different motorcycle brands right here if you wanted to, or whatever you're trying to sell, of course. This is just an example, but I'm actually going to leave them just the way they are because I think it's fine. But if you wanted to enter in your own images, you just right-click and say Edit the Image Carousel, and then right here you can click here and edit your own images. But again, I'm just going to leave it the way it is. So next, let's edit these 3 tiles right here. So the first one I'm going to do, I'm going to right click and edit the column and go to the Style tab, and you can see that the background image for the column is this pink image right here. So I'm going to change the image. And so I'll use this one first, and so I'll click on Insert Media. And let's do the same thing to the other 2. So I'll go to the Style tab, click on the image, and insert an image. And then let's go ahead and do the last image. So I'll click again on that little box, Style tab, choose the image, and I'll place the helmet image in there. Perfect. And so let's change the text next. So you can, of course, edit right on the page or click over here. And then I can change this one to something like, and then the last one, perfect. And then you can change the subtitles if you want to, but I'm just too lazy to, so I'm going to leave it just like that. All right, and it looks like this one's taking a second to upload. There we go. Oh, did I misspell safety? That's hilarious. That's how you spell it. I'm a web designer, not a speller. So I'm going to click on Update to save my work so far. Perfect. Now, this is the part where you would actually edit this button, and you would change the link to go to a specific category. So that would be the electric bikes category. So for instance, I can actually remove this and say electric. And then I can see that I've got a page and I've got a product. And so I've got my electric motorcycle right here. Honestly, you would look for the category, not product or page, and then you could choose the electric category. But for some reason it's not showing up, so I'm just going to say electric motorcycle. And then we can edit this button and take it to the sports bike. So let's just say the red sports bike. And then for safety gear, because we only have one helmet, I'll just have it go to that helmet. Just like that. And then click on update to save. You'll notice that I click on the update button to save my work as much as possible. That way I don't lose any progress if for some reason my internet goes down or something like that. All right, cool. So now that we finished this section, we can scroll on down to the featured products section. Now, honestly, I'm not going to do any editing to this. This right here is part of the template. If you edit it, it's actually short code and it's pulling short products from our dashboard. So let me show you guys right now how to add featured products. And so we go back to the dashboard. And if you don't have a second tab open like I do, this is why I always have a second tab open to go to the dashboard. But if you don't, you can just go over here to the hamburger icon and click on exit to dashboard. But it'll close Elementor, which I don't want to do right now. So back on the dashboard, we can go to the, let's see, products, which is down here, and go to all products. So I'm going to open it up on a new tab. And from here, all you have to do to add a product to the products feature is just click on this little star right here. So let's just pick some random ones. I'll choose the rider bundle. And then I'll use the motorcycle helmet. Let's do the custom bike next. And then I'll do the small black cruiser. And then let's do the electric bike. Perfect. And now that we've clicked stars over here, we can go ahead and close out of this tab and just refresh the Elementor page. Scroll on down to the bottom, and you'll see that those featured products automatically pop up. So that's pretty cool. All right, so we've finished editing the featured product section. We can scroll on down to this special edition section. And so this is what's called an intersection. So if I hover over it, you'll see it's going to say edit the intersection right there. And so that's because it's actually a section inside of a section. If you see this blue line over here, it's still continuing this giant section up here. And so we're just going to edit the intersection the exact same way that we would edit a regular section. So we just click on these 6 dots, or you can right click and say edit the intersection. Go to the style tab, and I'm going to change that background image. And I'm going to choose this one right here. Perfect. And it looks like they have this parallax effect on this one, which we also have on the top image. As you can see, it sticks to the background, but I actually want to turn it off for this section. So while I'm here, I'm going to go to the attachment, and instead of fixed, I'm going to change it to scroll. And so now as I scroll past, it actually sticks to the section just like that, versus how it stays in the background. So I'm going to leave it on the scroll setting because it also zooms out a little bit so you can see more of that image. I'm going to change the background overlay. Instead of a gradient, because I've got 2 colors right here, as you can see, I'm going to change it to classic, which is just 1 color, and I'm going to change it to black. All right, and I can change the opacity to be a little bit brighter because it's already a dark image, but I still want it to be dark enough where you can see the text perfectly fine. Okay, so now I can change this text if I want to something like special offer, and then for special edition, so let's just say a small black bike, because I'm realizing now that that's actually not a cruiser. It's technically like a Sportster or something like that, but you know, whatever, doesn't really matter. Okay. So we've got that in the background, and you can also change this, buy this t-shirt, we can say motorcycle, something like this, and then buy now we can actually have it set, so we click on edit button, and that's checkout page, but we actually want to change it to the actual cruiser so they can click on add to cart. So Elementor is going to search through all of the data that you have on your website, which one of them is a black cruiser, and when you click on it, and it'll automatically enter in the hyperlink for you. So that's pretty cool. All right. And then if you wanted to change the text for this Buy Now button, you just go to the Content tab right above Link, and you can change Buy Now to something like Check It Out. Just like that. All right, scroll on down a little bit more, and we've got some of this stuff. So like we've got best quality, best offers, secure payments, worldwide shipping. You can change these to say whatever you want. They're also just icon, or excuse me, not an icon box. It looks like it's an image box. You just click on edit, and you can change the actual icon to whatever you want. But I actually don't have any pre-saved PNGs like these little icons. And so I'm just gonna leave it, but you can always change it however you want. You can change the quality, or excuse me, best quality you can change right here, which is just the title. And so you can type whatever you want. And you can also change the text right here. So it's pretty simple. You got all 3. I'm going to leave those the way they are. And it looks like we've hit the bottom. So that is the footer. Perfect. So I'm going to click on Update to save my work. And next what I can do is go over to the Preview Changes, and it'll actually open my website up on a new tab. Wow, that's awesome. I think the website looks fantastic. We've got this cool motorcycle in the background, the green throughout the website, so it looks very themed. I love it. We've got the white text here, and we can scroll on down, and we look at these next sections, and if we were to click on any of these buttons, for instance, if I open it up on a new tab, it'll take you straight to that product. And so we've got this guy right here. And then we scroll on down a little bit further and we've got featured products. And so if I were to click on any one of these, it'll take you straight to the product as well. So that's awesome. This button I also know works because it takes me straight to featured products. And then we've got this small black premium sale going on, and they can click on checkout. And that looks like it's it. And I can click on the home button. And it should take me straight to the top again. Awesome. All right, guys. So now that we've customized the home page, we can go ahead and move on to step number 10, which is to customize your shop. Now, I do realize we have multiple pages, so we have an account page, an about page, and a contact page. I'm going to leave it up to you guys to edit those the same way, the exact same way that we edited the home page. Now you know how to use Elementor, so you can edit those pages how you want. Just to keep this compact, I'm not going to be editing those pages because I'm sure this tutorial is already going to get pretty long. So let's go ahead and move on to step number 10, which is customizing your shop. So in order to do that, I'm just going to click on the store button right here. All right, so this is your store. I think it already looks pretty good, but I'm going to show you guys how to make some small tweaks if you guys want to make it your own. So it's pretty simple. I also noticed that up here, it's blue again instead of the green, and so I'm going to show you guys how to fix that in just a second as well. But I'm going to show you guys how to edit this sidebar over here so you can change everything. I'm finally going to show you guys how to change this white color for the buttons so that it stops doing that. I'll also show you guys how to set up a privacy policy page and then also a terms and condition page. So that'll be good. And we can also edit these individual products as well, like we can change it on the title and everything. So let's get right into it. The first thing I want to do is change that color right there because it's bothering me. So we're going to go to the Customize tab, but we're actually going to be in the Customize tab to edit everything on the store. So that's pretty handy. Perfect. So now that we're in the Customize tab, in order to change that blue, we're going to go back to the header builder. And obviously I forgot to do this back in step number 8, which was the header and footer and logos. But you, instead of going to transparent menu and going to design, which we changed the color right here, we actually, I'm not going to say we because I forgot, to go to the header builder and go to the primary menu itself and go to the design tab. And if you scroll on down, you'll see that the text color active is blue. And so we're going to change this to actually be our green. So I'm just going to paste the same green that I've had on my clipboard this whole video. And now you can see that it's green. So that looks great. And the reason for this is when I edit over here, back in header builder, when I edit this part, this is only for transparent headers, and this is for when a transparent header is not being used. For instance, right now, it's not being used, and that's why we have a white line, and then this is gray. It's because it's not a transparent header. And so that's when you have to edit both sides of the coin, if that makes sense. So I'm going to click Publish to save that. So the next thing I'm going to do is edit this button because it's been bothering me the whole time. And it's not just that button, it's every single button on the website that changes white. So if I were to go to the checkout screen, for instance, open this up on a new tab, and I view the cart, this one also is this white thing. And if I return to shop, it's going to do the same thing. So let's change that right now. I'm going to go click the back button right here, and I'm going to drop down to the WooCommerce tab. And then instead of on header builder, I'm going to click on global right here. And then I'm going to click on buttons. So this is pretty simple. We're going to change the text color of these buttons. And so for the text color, I want it to originally be black like this. And then I want it to change to the green. So I'm going to click on here and click paste. Same green. And then what I want to do is whenever I hover over it, I want it to do the opposite. So I want it to be green. And then I want the text to be black, just like this. So right now, as you can see, it's black and green. And then when I hover over it, it goes to these two. So when I hover, it inverses. So that's pretty cool. Plus, it matches the theme of the entire website. So I'm going to click on Publish to save my work. And now that has changed everywhere on the website where that button was white. Now it's black and green, which is really cool. So for instance, if I go over to the cart and open it up on a new tab, you'll see right here that it also changed to the green and black. So we are saved. The buttons are fixed. So I'm going to close out of that tab. All right, so the next thing I want to show you how to do is to edit the sidebar right here. So we're going to click on the back button and back button one more time and go straight to sidebar right here. So drop all the way down to WooCommerce right here, and you'll see that the sidebar is on the left-hand side right now. We can actually edit it and place it over here on the right side if we want to. So you just click on it and say right side. And now we have the products on the left and the sidebar on the right. So that's pretty cool. Or you can say no sidebar if you want, but I'm just gonna leave it on the right because I like it like this. So next I wanna actually show you guys how to edit what is on the sidebar so you can completely customize your store. Right now it looks like it's the best sellers, which is the featured products that we set earlier. But we can change this, of course. It's got browse by category, and so all of the categories that we created while we were doing products are right here. And then a filter by price. And so you can, of course, drag the slider wherever you want, which it looks like the sliders are even white, so we can fix that. And then you click filter. But I'm going to show you guys how to do that right now. So let's publish to save what we've already done to the slider, or I mean to the sidebar. And then we click the back button. And then from here, we can drop down to the widgets tab right here, and then click on the WooCommerce sidebar. And now, as you can see, we actually have a live preview of the sidebar right here. So right now I'm in best sellers, but I scroll on down and I've got browse by category, and there's my category widget. And so it's pretty simple. All you have to do is you can click on it, click on the 6 dots, and you can remove it. And so that's how you delete a block completely, but I'm gonna keep it because I like that one. You can edit each individual one just by clicking on it. So if I wanna edit the best sellers, I can change the number of products that are shown. So right now it's 5 because I featured 5, but I can change it down to 4 if I want to. And then now it's only going to show 4 products on the side. It doesn't really make them any bigger or smaller, it looks like. So I'm going to edit it back up to 5. Perfect. And so now I can click on the search bar and I can change the title. Right now it's called product search, but I can change the title right here and say something like, and now you can see that it'll actually put a title above the search bar. So if you wanted to say something like, how can we help you? And then search bar, you can, but I'm actually just going to leave it blank. Perfect. So now I can scroll on down and I can actually edit the browse by categories as well. So I can click on this guy and then you can choose what categories, like if you want to order them by name or by category order. You can change the title here. You can show a hierarchy or not. And so basically that means like, do you want to actually show all of this subcategory stuff? Show as a drop down. So basically that's going to be a drop down like this and you can select one. I think that looks worse. So I'm going to go back and say don't show as a drop down. Perfect. So you already know how to remove one. If you want to add a widget, all you have to do is click on this plus button right here and you can add whatever you want to the sidebar. You could add text, you could add a heading, an image. For instance, if I wanted to put my logo at the very, very top, I can. It's a little overkill though, because I've got a logo there and a logo there. So if I put a logo up on top of my sidebar, it might be a little much, but I'm going to show you guys that you can anyways. So I'm going to click cancel, media library. Can add my logo. Actually, this time let's use the site icon just for fun. All right, so now I have my image in there. Again, I can actually go up here to the up and down arrow and I can rearrange my list. So I'm actually going to throw it all the way to the top, just like this. So now my logo's up here and then I'm going to shrink it like crazy. Perfect. And then so you can see that it's aligned to the left. Let's see what happens if I put center. All right, so now it's centered above all of this. So that's pretty cool. So if you wanted to have your logo in the sidebar, you can. Awesome. All right, so now you know how to rearrange, how to add, and how to delete things to your sidebar over here on the right-hand side. So I'm going to click on Publish to save my work. So the next thing I want to show you how to do is how to actually edit the individual products right here, and then also just how to edit this page in general. So click on the back button twice, and then we'll go down to the WooCommerce page. So under this dropdown for WooCommerce, you've actually got a lot of different things you can change. First is the store notice. This is kind of important. If I enable the store notice, just like this, you'll see that whatever text is typed in here will display on top as an actual notice. And so it basically says this store is a demo store for testing purposes. No orders shall be fulfilled. And so that's pretty important, especially if you're doing maintenance on your website and you want to make sure that people aren't doing orders while your website is down or something like that. You can always put this up here and you can type out whatever you want. I'm just going to leave it off for now and then click on the back button. We can go to the product catalog, which this page is the product catalog. And so we click on this guy and we can change how things are displayed. So we can say the shop page display is to show products. We can say show categories instead. And now, as you can see, the categories that are down here are the same ones that are displayed right here. And if you remember correctly, earlier on, I showed you guys how to change the image for the products for the categories right here. It was back during, I think, step 6 when I was showing you guys how to build your own products. I mentioned how to put an image here. And so you would have your own images for each category. And I only did it to 1. But I'm going to go back to products. And then you can also change the category display to do subcategories and stuff like that. Let's see here. Archive content, I usually don't even do. You can change the shop columns. So right now there's 1, 2, 3, and 4 columns. And so I can actually change that to, instead of before, I can change it to 5. Or I can change it down to 3, which is I think how I'm going to leave it. But right now there's only 3 per row, which is kind of cool. I think it makes the images a little bit bigger and easier to see, so I like that. Again, I can also change the products per page. So instead of showing 12, which is 3, 6, 9, and I only have 9 products total, there would be a third row or a fourth row right here that shows 12. But if I were to change this to like 5, and I have 9 products, now it's only going to show 5 per page, and then they have to click next to go to the next page, which, I mean, if I were you, I'd just set it to 9 for this example, of course. But of course, you have your own products in here, and I'm going to assume you have more than 9. And so just set this accordingly to however many you need. My recommendation would be to make sure that your grid pattern, so the shop columns and the products per page, make it look presentable. Also, so that there isn't like a tail off. So right now, as you can see, I've got a perfect grid. So there's 3, 3, and 3. So if I didn't have 9 products and I had 10, I might do, you know, shop columns would be 2, and I'd show 10 per page. And that way it would be a perfect square rather than something like 4 and it tails off like this. It's just uneven, and so that's just my recommendation to you guys. Perfect. And then the last thing you can do is actually change up the entire order of these titles that are underneath your product. So for instance, right now it says custom sports bike and that's on top. I can hide it by clicking on the eyeball, and it'll make the titles actually disappear, which obviously you want the titles. But if you didn't want like the star ratings to be displayed, you could just click on the eyeball right here for the star ratings. If you want the ratings to be somewhere else, or the price, for instance, like if I want the price to actually be right underneath the title, all I have to do is drag and drop it just like that. And you can see I just click on it and I can just drag it wherever I want. And so we've got the title and then straight into the price. So that's pretty good. It's also displaying the category. That's why it says custom bike, because that was that category. This is in the ebooks category, and so on. And then you can see we also have short description and add to cart. So if I want to actually show a button right here, I think it's kind of pointless because they're going to want to click on the product and see all the product details before they buy it. But you could have a button right here that just automatically adds it to cart, so they could spam add to cart on multiple products if they wanted to. Again, that's completely up to you, but usually I leave it off. And then they can just click on the actual image and it'll take them straight to the product. Perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the back button. You can change, you can disable breadcrumbs if you want on the single product, but I'm not going to touch that. Product images, you can actually set the sizing of images. And so if one of your images is pixelated or isn't formatted correctly, or it's too small or too big, you can come in here and mess with these settings and put them up and down until it decides to make something, you know, more appealing. I've had to do that a couple times on other people's stores when I'm building e-commerce stores for clients, because sometimes they're not perfectly formatted images that you set up before you record, like I do. Of course, I crop all of these so that they fit nicely just for your viewing, but you'll get a lot of images that you have to kind of mess around with. So you can also do thumbnail cropping. So right now it's set to 1:1 ratio, which is the square ratio, but you can say custom or uncropped. Now, most of these are cropped images anyways. They're square images. So if I say uncropped, so I'm pretty sure I cropped all of them. Yeah, so nothing changed. But if you had like a rectangular image, you'd be seeing a rectangle right now. But again, I cropped all of them beforehand. Perfect. So I'm going to leave it on the 1:1. And then you can also change the cart page just to enable cross-sells. If you disable this, you won't see those recommended products on the cart page. So that's completely up to you. And then we have the checkout page. And when you edit the checkout page, it's going to automatically open it up so you can see what you're editing. So that's pretty cool. But you can actually just enable or disable some of the fields. So for instance, this this company page right here, this company field, I can click on this and say hidden, and it's just going to make it disappear. Just like that, and now it's gone, but I'm going to leave it as optional. And then you can also make it required if you want to, but I don't see why you'd make company required. Of course, for special circumstances, you might. You can do the same thing for the address line too, for the phone field, and so on. You can also change whether required fields have an asterisk or not, and so you can just turn that off. But I think there's no point to do that either, because it lets people know what's required and what isn't. Now we can finally come to the last part of customizing your page, which is adding a privacy policy page and a terms and conditions page. So the privacy policy page, I think, comes either default or with the template. I don't remember, but it's already on there, so that's pretty cool. But if you want to set a terms and conditions page, all you have to do is click here, and you can choose from your list of pages. but right now we don't have one. So let me show you guys right now how to create an extra page. So I'm going to click on publish to save my work before I leave. And I'll go up to the dashboard. And again, if you don't have the dashboard open, you can click on this X button, but I always have another tab so I can multitask. I'm going to go over to the Pages tab right here and click on Add New. Perfect. And then close out of this guy. Now you're going to title the page, and then you can start typing, which this works very similar to a Microsoft Word document. You can just start typing right here. And I'm not going to show you guys how to actually type out your very own terms and conditions page, because that would be a lesson all on its own for another day. But I'm just showing you how to add a page. So you would just call the page terms and conditions. Terms and conditions just like that. And then we can go ahead and click on publish to save our work and publish one more time. Perfect. And so now we close out of this page, and then on the customize tab, we can refresh. We'll go back to the WooCommerce tab, back to the checkout page, and then for terms and conditions, click on it, and now the page that we just created is available. And so we click on that guy. Perfect. And now it's going to automatically add a checkbox saying that I have read and agreed to the terms and conditions. And so they check that, and then they can place their order. And as you can see, they can't place the order until they actually agree to your terms and conditions. And so this is really important, especially if you're building your own e-commerce store and you're going to be the one responsible for this. You might want to, learn how to do a terms and conditions page and set it up appropriately. But I just wanted to show you guys how to actually add it to it. Now, also right here, the privacy policy, you have a separate page, of course, but you can also have your own text right here. And so you'll see that you can actually edit this paragraph right here. And then the terms and conditions, you can edit this little sentence right here. And so I have read and agreed to the terms and conditions. And so you can change this right here. So I'm going to click on publish to save. All right, so now that we've finished setting up our entire store, we can go ahead and move on to step number 11, which is to set up your payment methods. So I'm going to close out of this tab right here and go back to the dashboard. And now that we're back on the dashboard, I'm going to go over to the left-hand side, hover over WooCommerce, and then drop down to Settings. From here, we'll go over to the Payments tab, and then scroll on down, and you'll see that we have a whole bunch of different payment methods that we can enact, but the one that we want to use is Credit Card by Stripe right here. And so we'll just go over to the Enabled part, and if it isn't already enabled, just go ahead and check this, and then go over to Setup right over here on the right. All right, and then we'll scroll on down and we have our Stripe settings. So the first thing I want to do is just make sure that the title says credit card, because sometimes it'll say Stripe right here in parentheses, and so I always remove that. The title is what's going to be visible, and so they'll see credit card, and then the description will be right underneath the option, and I'll show you guys this in just a little bit when we actually finish setting it up. And you'll see pay with your credit card via Stripe. So next, we'll go right down to Stripe account keys. Now, if you just changed that, if I were to make any changes, you'll see that this button grays out. And so just make sure that you scroll all the way down to the bottom and click on Save Changes. And once you do, that box is ready to go again, so you can click on it. And so we'll click on Set Up and Link the existing Stripe account right here. And it's going to take you to Stripe's website. And so this is the part where you actually get to set up your own account. And so if you already have a Stripe account, you can use the same email, or we're going to go ahead and get started by creating our own. Perfect. And so now it's going to ask you to enter in your phone number, so I'm going to do that right now. And then it's going to text you a verification code, so just give it a second. All right, and now it's going to give you an emergency backup code in case you forget your password, so you want to make sure that you save this somewhere. So I'm going to copy it to my clipboard, and then you can also click on download code if you want, and it'll save it as a text file to your computer. So now I'm going to go ahead and click on next, but I would save that somewhere on your computer so that you have access to it whenever you need it. So now it's going to ask you to tell you or tell Stripe about your business, and so I'm just going to enter in my actual information here. Next, it's going to ask for the legal name, so I'll just go ahead and enter in my name. All right, and then after clicking next, it's going to ask for your business website, so just make sure that your domain name is automatically inserted right here, and if not, just go ahead and type it in. And then we've also got product description, which you can say something about your website like, we sell premium motorcycles or something like that, because that's the theme of the website. And then click on continue. All right, and then it's going to ask for your actual banking information, so I'll see you guys in a second. All right, and then after clicking next, you'll have to do the statement descriptor, which is pretty simple. It's just what shows up on people's bank account or bank statements whenever they make a purchase from your website. And so right now it's gtpowersportscapw.com. You can shorten it up to something if you want, so you could say GT Powersports like that, and you can see that it types out whatever you want. I'll just leave it as CAPW. It's just the full website name, gtpowersportscapw.com, but I'll actually just remove the .com. Perfect. And then the shortened descriptor is pretty much the same thing, just a little bit shortened, and you can see that it'll say like business t-shirt or something like that. So I'll say something like CAPWGT. Just shortened a little bit. Obviously that's not the best example, but you'll just make it something for your business. Now you'll see the customer support phone number is going to take the same cell phone number that you put in. And so if you have a separate phone that you want to use for, you know, anytime someone calls and has something for customer support, you can put it in now. But I'm just going to leave it as my phone number for now. And then we'll scroll on down a little bit farther, and we've got customer support address, and so it's the same business address, which is obviously blurred out right now. Perfect. And then it's going to ask you to review your details, which you can, and we'll just say submit at the bottom. All right, and it's going to take you back to the WordPress dashboard, and it should automatically pull in your live publishable key and your live secret key. So that's pretty cool. If it didn't, I'm going to show you guys how to do it right now. Just make sure that we go back to your Stripe account. So I'm going to open it up on a new tab and go to Stripe. And then from here, we'll just go over to the developer tab. And we're actually going to be bouncing between the Stripe account and the WooCommerce settings. So make sure you have both tabs open because we're going to be bouncing back and forth pretty much. So now that we're on the developer tab, we're going to be bouncing between the API keys and the webhooks as well. So let's go to API keys first. The first thing you want to do is make sure you click view test data. That way you're in test mode right here. Now this is important because you want to be able to test out your payment processor before actually making it live. And so this is a way that we can do so safely on our website. Just make sure that when you're ready to make your website live, you turn off test data. That way it's an actual live Stripe account. Now, because we did test mode in Stripe, we also have to do test mode in WooCommerce. And you'll see that when I actually created my account, it automatically took my publishable key and my secret key, which is pretty nice. But when I click enable test mode, we have a separate publishable key and secret key for test mode. So that's what we're going to do here. So let's go back to API keys, and we'll take the publishable key, click on it, and it'll copy it to your clipboard, and we'll paste it right here. And then we'll go back and we'll take our secret key. So click to reveal it, click to copy it, and go back to WooCommerce and paste it. Now we have to set up a webhook secret and a webhook endpoint. So we'll scroll on down a little bit, and we've got this guy. So we'll go over to API keys, and we'll go over to webhooks just like this. And then we're going to go over to the endpoint right here. And now we have to add our own endpoint. So you'll see that it's asking for a URL. So we have to go back to the WooCommerce settings, and you'll see right here, it says you must add the following webhook, this URL, to your Stripe account. And so we're just going to copy paste it. Just like this. The description's optional, so I'm just going to leave it blank. And then events to send, this is important. Make sure you search charge. And it's going to take 13 sub-events, so you can see that we've got charge captured, expired, failed, pending, refunded, blah, blah, blah. So that's what we want to do, and add the endpoint. And we select charge because that's what you're trying to do, is charge people for product. So, all right, so now that we have this done, we can go down to the signing secret, click to reveal it, and copy paste it to our website. So we'll put it into the webhook secret right here. Perfect. And just like that, we're done linking our Stripe account to our WooCommerce account. So other than that, all of these settings down below, you can just go ahead and leave the same way. That's what I usually do. And click on Save Changes. All right. So now that we have everything done here, we can go ahead and preview it. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the store by clicking on Visit Store right here. And it looks like I already have something in the cart, so I'm just going to go straight to checkout. Perfect. And now you can see that that box that earlier said, sorry, we don't have a payment method, now has this. So we've got a credit card number option, and you can see that it's in test mode right here. And it's going to say that in test mode, you can use the card number 424242, blah, 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 with any CVC and valid expiration date, just to test out the payment method. So let's go ahead and do that right now. All right. And then we'll have to say, yes, I have agreed to the terms, and let's fill out the credit card number information. So next what you do is just take this number right here and paste it into the card number section, just like this, and then we can put whatever we want for this. So just 1234, 123, and then make sure that that box is checked and click on place order. Perfect. And now you can see that we actually have a confirmed checkout, and we've got this little order details and everything. It's also going to send an email to the actual customer, so it looks like I used my email, so we'll go ahead and open up Gmail. right here. It's from me because I use the same email as the admin, but your GT Power Sports order has been received. And so you click on it and you actually have a full order summary. So that's pretty cool. And in a moment, I'll actually show you guys in the next step how to manage orders. And when you do, it'll send another email to the customer saying that your order is complete when you set it as complete. So that's pretty cool. So close out of this guy right now. And we'll close out of the store as well. Now let's go ahead and make sure that our store is not in test mode anymore. So I'm going to scroll on down and uncheck the enable test mode. And so we have to do the webhook secret again. And that's pretty easy. We just turn off test mode just like this. Go back to webhooks and endpoints right here. And now we have to add another one because we're no longer in test mode. So we'll click on add endpoint. And we can go ahead and paste the different URL in. Just to be safe, I don't actually know if it's different because I'm too lazy to look at all those numbers and letters. But now that it's not in test mode, we'll just copy paste it again. Events to send is charge. You guys know the drill. And we will take the signing secret and paste it into our website signing secret right there. Perfect. And then the rest of it is the same, and we can just click on save changes. All right, so now your website is live and ready to take payments, so we're good to go there. Next thing I want to do is go back to the payments tab and then scroll on down, and we're going to try and enable PayPal as well as a payment method on our website. Now you'll see that it's not here because we actually have to go in and download another plugin to install the PayPal payment method. So we're going to go over to the WooCommerce tab, down to the plugins tab right over here and click on add new, but I'm going to open it on a new tab. And then from here, go to search plugins and look for WooCommerce PayPal. And you'll see it's going to be the first option right here. So we got WooCommerce PayPal Checkout Payment Gateway. So I'm going to click on install now and then activate. All right, and if we scroll on down, you'll see that the WooCommerce PayPal Checkout Gateway has been activated, so it's good to go. So we can close out of this tab and go back to the WooCommerce settings and just refresh this page. And now if you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see that you have the option for PayPal checkout. Now it automatically comes enabled when you download the plugin, but if it isn't, just make sure you check this little box right here, or toggle the switch, whatever you want to say. And then let's go ahead and open up Manage on a new tab. And you'll see that it looks pretty similar to the checkout for the credit card, so we can change the title and the description. And so pay via PayPal, you can just kind of remove the rest of this if you want, because I think it's pointless. And then from here, we can go ahead and scroll on down to the bottom and just click Save Changes before we do anything else. Perfect. Now when we scroll down, you'll see API credentials right here, and we're actually going to be clicking on this button, set up or link an existing PayPal account. And so that's what we're going to do. Now, setting up the PayPal payment method is 10 times easier than setting up Stripe. We're not going to be copying over API keys, webhooks, and endpoints and stuff like that, like we did for Stripe. All we have to do is log into our PayPal account, and just like that, it's done. So let's click on this button right here, and it's going to take you to PayPal. And from here, go ahead and log in. And then it's going to ask if you want to allow PayPal to connect to your WooCommerce developer tab, and you're just going to say agree and connect. And then it's going to say take you back to your website. And then it's going to confirm that this is the correct URL just to make sure that they're sending you back to your website. So you just say, yes, that's my site. Perfect. And now you'll see if you scroll down to reset the current credentials, you can click here. And so that's if you want to remove the PayPal account, but that means that you have activated it now. And now when you scroll down, you'll see that you've got the live API, username, password, signature, and all that stuff automatically fills in. And so it's twice as easy, 10 times easier, whatever you want to say. And then we scroll on down to the bottom, and we can click on Save Changes. Perfect. And that's it. Now we have PayPal and credit card activated on our website. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what that looks like. So I'm going to go over to GT Power Sports and click on my store. And I've already got something in the cart again. So if we scroll on down, you'll actually see PayPal shows up on the option instead of just clicking on checkout. So you can click on it straight right here, or you can go to the checkout tab. And then if we scroll down, you'll see PayPal has an option. Click on it, and now we can click PayPal. All right, and then when it takes you to something like this from a secure browser that says you have to log in with PayPal, that's when you know that it's working and people can pay you through PayPal. So I'm just going to close out of that guy, and we are good to go. So I'll close out of this tab as well. And now we don't need Stripe anymore, but you definitely want to make sure you keep your login credentials because this is how you're going to be getting paid from your website. So I'll close out of this tab as well and scroll on up to the top. Now, the last thing I want to talk about before I move on to the next step is going to be emails. And this is still under payment methods. So the first thing that I want to talk about was actually on your Stripe account, you want to make sure that you go into your personal email, whatever you signed up with Stripe for, and verify your email. That way your account doesn't get frozen because they're going to want to make sure that you have the correct email address. And then the other thing was going to this email tab right here. And if you'll remember earlier, I went ahead and opened a new tab and I went to my actual Gmail. And I got an email from the website saying that I've got my order here. And also you can see this new order as well came in. And this is for me because this is my admin email. And so it's telling me that I got a new order. We can actually change how these emails look and who they're from and things like that. So I can go over to the WooCommerce settings over here, and under the emails tab, we can scroll down and you can see all of the different types of emails that will automatically get sent either to you, your admin email, which is Create a Pro Portfolio at the moment, or the customer, which is all the way down here. And so between the two, you can actually manage each individual email. So for instance, new order, I can actually manage by right-clicking on it and opening it on a new tab and scroll on down. And I can change things like the recipient, so who it actually goes to. Like if you want this specific new order email to go somewhere else, but I mean, I would just leave it on this one if that's your actual business email. You can enable or disable it, which obviously I'm going to leave it enabled because I want to know every time I get a new order. That's really important. But we can change the subject, the email heading, and additional content if we want to. And so this is where you would do it here. So I'll go ahead and close out of that tab. I'm going to leave them the way they are. But again, just go to the email tab. And you can change the email subject or who it's from for every single type of email that goes through. So that's pretty cool. And then I'm going to close out of this tab as well and go back to the dashboard. So now that we've finished setting up payment methods, we can go ahead and move on to step number 12, which is to set up coupon codes. And in order to do that, we're going to go over to the WooCommerce tab right over here and drop on down to coupons. And we'll open it up on a new tab and we can scroll down and you'll see right now we don't have any coupons. So it's going to ask you to create your first coupon right here, or you can click on add new right up on top, but I'm going to click on this one. And now we'll be able to create our own coupon. So this is a really important step because you want to be able to create different coupons at different times and have them scheduled so that you can add different sales to your website. So just for attracting customers and things like that. So this first coupon code, I'm actually going to create something that does a 20% discount on the entire cart. And so this could be some kind of like a special sale if you want to, or you can give this out to specific people if you want, however you want to do this. Your marketing campaigns are your own. So the coupon code is going to be titled 20%. Just like this. And so that is the actual coupon code. You can click generate coupon code and it'll create something if you want, but I'm going to type in my own code. And so this is what they would actually type in the checkout screen to get this 20% off. And then we can actually say what it is. And so now you can get 20% off of any order over $20. Or you could do something special, like if you wanted to say $200 or something like that. Let's actually do that because that's a little bit more reasonable. So if they spend $200, they can get 20% off of everything in their cart. So that's kind of nice. So the first thing we're going to do is go to discount type. And right now it's on fixed cart discount, but we're actually going to change it to percentage discount because it's kind of obvious we're doing a percentage discount. But you'll see coupon amount right here is determined based on which one you choose here. So if I do a fixed cart discount, that's actually a fixed number. So if I put a 20 here, it would be $20 off. And if I choose percentage, now it's going to be 20% off. So I'm going to change the 0 to 20%, just like that. And again, if I choose fixed cart discount, now it's $20 off, but we're doing a percentage. So I'm going to use this one. And then also fixed product is just doing it off of a specific product. So that's coupon amount. And then you've got allow free shipping. So you could do this kind of like you get 20% off and free shipping. And so all you have to do is check this box and it'll remove shipping from the order, but I'm just going to leave that one off because again, we're only doing 20% off of a specific order. And then you can also set a coupon expiry date. So you can change this just by clicking here and choose a date in the future. And that's when this coupon will expire. Going over to the next tab, we've got usage restriction. And so this is a pretty important one. So this is where we're going to change the minimum spend and the maximum spend. And so for instance, if they don't have an order that's $200 or more, I would actually change the minimum to be $200. And then what that means is they wouldn't be able to use this coupon. So they have to spend $200 because I'm setting it right here, and then they get 20% off. You can also set a maximum spend. And so for instance, if I said $1,000, this would be something like if they spend, between $200 to $1,000, they get 20% off. But if they spend more than $1,000, they can't use this coupon anymore because then they're just taking more and more money off of the order. So you can set a maximum spend if you want. I'm just going to leave it blank though. Now you've got individual use only, and so this means that they can't use this coupon in conjunction with other coupons. This is a pretty important one because you'll have some people who find a ton of coupons for your website and then end up just getting free product. And so you want to make sure that you have this box checked so they can't use multiple coupons on the exact same order. And then you've got exclude sale items right here. And so this basically means if you check this box that this coupon cannot be used on items that are already on sale because you've already discounted them. So this can only be used on the full price. So I'm going to leave that box checked as well. And then right here, you've got products and exclude products. And so you can set this coupon to only be allowed to be used on specific products, or you can exclude some products. So if you want it to be used on everything but one product, you could search that one product here. So let's just say electric. It'll search all your products, and we've got the electric motorcycle right here, which I could select, but I'm not going to. And then you can also do the same thing with product categories, and then you can exclude some categories as well. So let's go over to the next tab, which is usage limits. And so this is also pretty interesting. We've got usage limit per coupon. And so this just means how many times a coupon can be used. Basically, you could set it to only be used 3 times in total rather than only once per customer. And so the usage limit, I'm going to say, is something like 50. And so now this coupon can only be used in total 50 times. Next, we have limit usage to X items. And so if you hover over this, it basically means the maximum number of individual items that this coupon can apply to. So let's just say they have 50 items in the cart, but I only want it to apply to the first 5 items in the cart. I can select 5 right here. And now it only applies to the first 5 items. And so they still have to get to the $200, but they want to make sure that they're more expensive items. That's just an example here, but I'm going to leave it blank. And then lastly, you've got the usage limit per user. And so this is basically saying how many times each individual customer can use this one. And so you can say that they can only use it once if you want. But again, I'm just going to leave it blank. And now we can go over here and click on publish, and our code is going to be live. Perfect. So I'm going to open up the store and show you guys what that looks like. All right. And then you'll see right here, have a coupon. Well, click here to enter your code. So you'll just click here and it's going to give you the option to enter in a coupon code. And if we type in our coupon code and click apply, and you'll see it says, sorry, this coupon is not applicable because this product that's in my cart right now is actually on sale. And if you remember, we said to exclude sale products. So let's go over to the store and add a different product because right now you can see that the electric motorcycle is on sale. So we'll choose something else like this gray large cruiser, and we'll click on add to cart and then view cart, remove the electric motorcycle. And then we can actually apply the coupon code right here. So I'll select the 20% and click apply. Awesome. And now you'll see that it took off 20% of 13,000, which is 2,700. And we are good to go. And then you can click on proceed to checkout. But I'm going to go ahead and remove that one so that we can see the next coupon code when we create it. Perfect. So we'll close out of that tab. Okay, so now we can go back to the WooCommerce tab and drop down to coupons, or you can also go to the marketing tab and then click on coupons right here. And it looks like we're actually already on the coupon page, so nice. We can scroll on down and see all of the different coupon codes that we have active right now, and so you can see the 20% that I just created. But we're going to go to the top and click on add coupon. Perfect. So the next coupon that we're going to create is a free shipping coupon code. And so I'm actually going to title it free shipping. Just like this. And then we can do a little description that says something like free shipping on any order over $200. And so the way we do this is we go down to discount type, and we're actually just going to leave it on fixed cart discount because we're not even going to put a number here. We're just going to leave it as 0, but we're going to allow free shipping just like this. We could set an expiry date, but I'm just going to leave it. Under usage restriction, this is where you can put in the minimum spend of $200 right here. Now, if you want to just make a free shipping coupon code that you can send out to specific people and not have a minimum, but you just make sure that this coupon code is only given to a few people, you can do that. You can just say, you know, free shipping on any order, and you can just remove the $200 and then remove the $200 here as well. And now it's just free shipping for any order. But again, I'm going to use $200 just as an example. Individual use only, I'm going to say yes, but if you want this one to be able to be used with other coupons, then you can. But I think that taking off the shipping, you want to just kind of make it individual use only. Exclude sale items. I'm actually going to leave this one unchecked because if you're giving someone free shipping for something over $200, it's up to you if you want to exclude sale items. But again, everything on this website is a little expensive. They're all motorcycles, so I would just leave it off. But again, that's up to you. And then you can choose products or categories if you want to. And then for usage limits, I'm going to change the limit per user to be 1 time. And then if you want to use the usage limit per coupon, you can also change that as well, but I'm just going to leave it. And we'll click on publish. Perfect. And so now I'll go up to the store and show you guys what that looks like. Click here to enter your code, and let's do free shipping. Perfect. And now you'll see that the coupon code has been activated and it's actually removing shipping, which you guys aren't going to see right now because we haven't gotten to that next step, which is shipping methods. And I'll do that in the very next step. But that's how you guys create a free shipping coupon. Now I'll reactivate this code in the checkout screen after the last coupon code that I showed you guys. That way you guys will see this one in action when we do the next step. So I'm just going to remove it for now. Perfect. So now I'm going to close out of this page. And now that we're back on the marketing tab, I'm going to click on add coupon one more time. Perfect. And then when we get here, this next one is going to be $20 off. All right. And this is going to be, all right. So this is just going to be $20 off any order over $200. Now that's not 20% off. This is just $20. And so this is going to be actually a fixed cart discount and not a percentage. And so this way we'll go to coupon amount and change it to 20. And so that'll automatically change to $20. You don't have to put the $sign or any decimals. Unless you wanted to make it like $20.50 off, then you could do that. But I'm just going to leave it like this. And then you can allow free shipping if you want again and set a date. That's up to you guys. We'll go to usage restriction and we'll change the minimum to $200, just like this. And then if you want, we can do individual use only. So if you want this to only be used once and not in conjunction with other coupons, which I usually do this unless it's a specific, just too small of a coupon code. And then you can exclude sale items as well if you want to. And then set products and categories and all of that. For usage limit per user, I'm going to change it to 1 again, and then leave the limit per coupon and click on publish. And so because it's a fixed cart discount right here, we're only taking a fixed amount of $20 off of the cart. And so I'll show you guys what that one looks like. And so we'll go over to the coupon code section. Oh, and it looks like something's wrong with the coupon codes. If I go back to that tab, oh, that's why. I put 3 L's in there instead of 2. So dollars off right there. We'll click update. And then we'll go back to the checkout page and we can refresh. And then we can re-enter the code. So I'll click here. And that's how it's done. And now you can see that because we're over $200, we removed $20. Yay! So now it's only $13,480. So what a small coupon. But anyways, I'm just going to remove that one for you guys. And then close out of this tab. And so that is how you create coupons in WooCommerce, and you guys can get creative on how you guys want to do them. Now the last thing I am going to do is go back to the coupons page and show you guys that you guys can add or delete different coupons. So adding, you just click on add coupon right here, but if you want to delete a coupon, you can go right here, hover over it and click on trash. You can also edit it and it'll take you straight to the editing page. Or you can select multiple just like this, bulk actions, move to trash if you want to delete multiple coupons at the same time. But I'm going to uncheck that. Perfect. So now that we've created coupon codes for our website, we can go ahead and move on to step number 13, which is to set up shipping methods. So I'm going to close out of the coupons tab right here, and back on the dashboard, I'm going to go over to WooCommerce and then drop down to settings. And then right here under WooCommerce settings, we can go over to the shipping tab and we can add our shipping zones here. So you'll see that we have shipping zones, which I'm going to be creating a shipping zone for the United States. But if you're planning on shipping your product internationally, you'll have to create different zones. And so one zone might be the United States, another zone might be, the UK or Europe or, wherever you want to ship it to. But you'll create each individual zone and then set up a different price based on that zone. So I'm going to click on add a shipping zone. Scroll on down and I've got my zone name, which I'm going to call this United States. just so that it's easy to understand, because the actual zone I'm going to select, I'm going to search for the United States. Right here. So I've got the United States. And then if you wanted to make an individual zone for each individual state, you totally can. So if you want to make it to where, you know, if you ship to Texas, for instance, because I'm in Austin, you can make that a different price than the rest of the United States if you want to. And that's just by searching it. So I've got Texas, which is in the United States, and I can include it, or I can just do a different shipping zone and do one individually for Texas, but I'm not going to do that right now. So we'll stick to just doing one for the entire United States of America. Perfect. And then we can go to the shipping methods right here. And so we click on add a shipping method, and you can select between a flat rate, free shipping, or local pickup. I'm only going to be doing these two right here, flat rate and free shipping, because local pickup is pretty explanatory, self-explanatory. You just pick it up at the actual store, which is the address that you have on your website. But if you're shipping product from your bedroom, you want to make sure that you set up two different rates here for shipping. So I'm going to do the flat rate first, and we'll click on add a shipping method, and you'll see that it pops up right here. And then I'm also going to add a shipping method, and I'll choose free shipping, and I'll add that one as well. So now I've got both right here, and so we can edit one and then edit the other. So I'm going to edit the flat rate first. And we've got the method title, which is flat rate. You can choose to type in whatever you want here. So if you're shipping to many different countries, you could actually put United States flat rate. But I'm just going to leave it as flat rate because I'm only going to do the United States right now. You can choose whether the tax status. So you can choose whether it's taxable or not, which I'm just going to leave it as taxable. And then you can change the cost right here. And so this is the actual flat rate. And so I'll change this to $10 flat rate. So it costs $10 to ship it anywhere in the United States. And click on Save Changes. All right, and then we go down to free shipping, and I can click on Edit. And so I can change the title, which is free shipping. And then we can actually change the requirement to receive free shipping. And so if we click on this, you could say a valid free shipping coupon. And so that's good enough if you want to, or if you want to change it to anything on the store. You don't have to have a shipping coupon, but if you buy anything on the store that's over a specific amount, you can choose this one. So minimum order amount, and then you just put this in here. So if they spend more than $13,000 on my website, well, that's $130,000. So if they spend more than $13,000 on my website, they'll get free shipping, no matter what, anything on the website. So you can do that, or you can change it to a minimum order or a coupon, or and a coupon, depending on what you guys want to do. And so that's $13,000. And then this last part, coupon discounts. This is really important. You want to make sure that this box is checked, because if checked, free shipping would be available based on the pre-discount order amount. So what that means is if someone had already added a coupon code to the website, say it took 20% off of this, off of their order, you're basically saying before the coupon is applied, did they meet the $13,000? And if so, you get free shipping. It's not after the coupons. Now you can unselect this, and then if people apply different coupons, they might not get that free shipping. It's depending on what you want to do. Just wanted to tell you guys about that, but I'm just going to leave it blank for now because it's an example. So I'll click on Save Changes just like this. And just like that, we've got our shipping methods set up. So we've got the United States, a flat rate, and free shipping if they spend more than $13,000. And then you click on Save Changes to save your work. So if you want, you can scroll back up to the top and click on the shipping tab again, and you can add another zone. And so if we scroll on down, we've got the United States, which has both the flat rate and free shipping, as you can see. We can add another shipping zone if you want. So I can do something like Australia if I want to. And then I can actually search Australia, just like this, and I can select what territory I want, which I don't really care right now just because this is an example. But then, you know, if I were to ship to Australia, I can set up a totally different shipping method, click on Add, I can do a flat rate, edit it, and then I can change it to something way more expensive if I need to, just to make sure that I cover the actual shipping costs when I send it to them. So let's just say that this is like $20. And I have no idea what the shipping charges would be to send something to Australia. I'm just setting an example to show you guys that you can make it different prices for different zones. And then you click on Save Changes to save your work, which mine is done. So let me show you guys what that looks like. We'll go to GT Power Sports and open up the store on a new tab. Perfect. And then under country and region, I've got the United States selected, and so that's why the flat rate is $10. But you can also see that free shipping is available because my order is over $13,000. Now, if I were to remove this motorcycle from my cart and put something cheaper, the free shipping option wouldn't even show up, but they can click on it if they want free shipping. Now, if I were to select a different country or region, like if I was going to ship to Australia, for instance, you'll see that the flat rate changed to $20, and there's no radio check button because I can't select anything different because I didn't set up free shipping for Australia. Just, again, an example. So I just wanted to show you guys that that's what happens when you pop it up like this. Perfect. So I'll close out of this tab because now you guys see what it looks like. So now that we've set up different shipping methods, we can go ahead and move on to step number 14, which is to manage orders. So in order to manage orders, all you have to do is go over to the WooCommerce tab and go down to orders. And you'll see that it's actually got a little one right here, like a notification saying that I have a new order. So I'm going to open it up on a new tab. Perfect. And now that we're on the orders tab, you can scroll on down and see that we have the order that I created a little while ago for the $8,000 for the electric motorcycle. And so that's good there. You want to make sure that you check your website every day just because you'll be getting orders on the daily, but you're also going to receive email notifications to your admin email every time a new order is created, just as a notification for you. But anytime you want to manage orders, you just go to the WooCommerce tab and click on orders, and you'll drop right here, and you can see all of the new orders that you have. And you'll see that right now the status is processing. And so that means that the Stripe charge is complete, but it's on you to ship the product to them now. And so this is kind of like a task list. You'll see anything processing, that means you need to send something to them. And then once you've sent something to them, the product I mean, you'll go over and click on the checkbox right here. And under bulk actions, you can change the status, which is this right here, from processing to on hold, completed, or canceled. But I'm going to change it to completed. And click apply. Perfect. And now you'll see that the order is completed. And so now it's actually going to send an email confirmation again to the customer, letting them know that now the order is completed, that it's not processing anymore. And so you want to make sure that you only change the status after you've sent a product to them. So let's go ahead and check our Gmail, and it should have sent something to us. And then you'll see right here on Gmail, I actually got another email that says, thank you for your order. Your order's been received and it's processed, so it's good to go. So that's pretty cool. But again, just a big reminder, don't change it to complete until you actually send the product so they know that it's on its way, because that is the way that WooCommerce notifies your customers via email. So same thing with all the other options as well, like when you cancel it, it'll send them an email, or if it's on hold, it'll send them an email. So, and again, if you ever want to change those email settings, you just go to WooCommerce settings and then you go to the email tab and you can change all of those as well. All right, and that's how you manage orders. So I'm going to close out of this tab and go back to the dashboard. So now that we've completely finished our e-commerce store, I just want to open it up on a new tab and take one last look at it. Beautiful homepage. I love this hero section, and I gotta say the neon green kind of touch throughout the website is definitely my favorite. Scroll on down a little bit, and we've got the different titles here, and we can click on shop now if we want to. We've got featured products, and so anyone can look through all of our most popular products, and of course you're the one who sets up the featured products. Scroll on down, and we've got a little bit of a promotional for one of the specific products, and so they could check it out if they want to. And then if we go back up to the top, we can go to the store, and we've got all of our different products laid out nicely. And then we also have this sidebar here that we can click and search things if we want to. And then I also know that we have the account, about, and contact page, and I'm going to leave it to y'all to actually edit those using Elementor, the exact same way that we did the homepage. But all right, I think the site looks great. That was my tutorial on how to build an online store using WooCommerce. I hope you were able to follow along and complete your online business. Be sure to check out the rest of our channel for other tutorials and additional information like securing your website, adding additional contact forms, setting up business emails, and so much more. I look forward to seeing you guys in other videos.